What's up, folks? Welcome back. It's Tuesday. We're getting tactical, and what an exciting Tuesday it is, because I think the plane tickets have been purchased. The journeys have been begun for the many players of the World Championships of Warhammer going down this weekend. And what we're going to be doing today is taking a peek at some of their lists. We've got all the lists up here. Over at our friends, the best coast pairings for all, 270, I think, players at the World Championships. 275 World Championships players. I think we'll probably peruse a selection out of each faction, at least as many as we can get to, and take a peek at what some of the best players in the world at Warhammer 40k are playing. Could have used more opener beats this time. I'm sorry. You have to listen to my voice. Yuck. Yuck, chat. I'll try to keep that in mind for next time. We'll leave the intro in for way longer. We'll go for just for hours. We'll let it go for 2 hours, and then we'll stream for about 10 minutes, and then we'll be done. We'll call it good. Come back for the raging intro beats. Is that intro song? Should that's a venerable old intro song, to be honest. You think we need a new one, or is that one too iconic now? That intro. 5 out of 9 special players still running Thunder Wolf spam. Yucky. Well, anyway, chat. Where should we begin? Is the question of the day. Should we start talking about players? We can look at some high tier players, or should we take a peek at factions that are doing well? Last year, I think I did a statistical analysis on who I thought would win, which ended up being wrong, but it was very funny. I didn't do that this year, but maybe I should have. Mistakes were made. There's a Necron player running a Tesseract Vault. Fuck yeah. I don't know how shocking Tesseract Vaults are. I think they're just good, to be honest. They've been looking pretty sweet. Now, are the pod breakdowns available anywhere? That's something I don't know. They are not on the event listing, so that's one I wouldn't know how to look at. Some of them. Oh, they say in their title. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. I was literally looking at them and I was like, well, some of them say Group 16, but like this one doesn't say it, but it does. It's a longer name, so I missed it. Okay, I understand. Okay, I get it. I get it. Good stuff. All right. What do people think? Where should we go? If you went to World Championships of Warhammer and brought Mono Nurgle, I've talked about it. I mean, maybe. Mono Nurgle is probably like the least interesting out of all the mono factions. It's like really good. I think that's the problem. Like 3 great unclean ones just unironically is like super competitive. So I don't know if it would be like that crazy. If you're like Mono Tzeentch, I'd be like, oh, dude, this man, he's cruising for a bruising over here. Mono Slaanesh is kind of sweet, too. I'm less into it, as much as I am Khorne or Nurgle, but those ones are pretty spicy, for sure. Although I think Mono Slaanesh is probably the second most competitive variety of pure Mono Khorne demons. Mono Tzeentch next year, yeah. Somebody needs to run Bird Flu. Is anybody running Bird Flu at the WCW? I don't think so. Well, we already started in on Chaos Demons, so let's take a peek at Chaos Demons. Niklas Frischen from Germany, literally just coming off his big win last week, running his same list. So we've talked about this list, I think. I think the Seekers might be new. But we did talk about this list in quite a bit of detail. The interesting thing about it is that he's got Shalaxi, He's got Kairos in place of the Endless Gift, Endless Ed. This, like, the steel balls on this man, they're too dense for me to even comprehend. Because Kairos Fateweaver is a jerk, and Endless Ed is the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm it's like so shocking to me, yeah. These guys still playing Sigmar? They're all boring? Lame. This list has 3 units of Fiends in it. That's cool. It's interesting that Demon players have basically entirely moved to Screamers as their utility. This list also has no Nurglings. No Nurglings and triple Fiends. That's interesting. Fiends do have a trillion attacks, so if you're trying to clear infantry, it's pretty good. Got some Flamers in there, a little bit of infantry clearing as well. Quack Lay. I think we probably just talked about his list because he played it in the team event last week. It's only one Slashy Soul Grinder, in fact. So I think that is I think there's a small difference. In place, we're running Shalaxi instead of a Keeper, I think. Be'lakor, Greninkiwa, and Lord of Change. You might not be wrong here, chat. Russell Tassin running Chaos Demon is actually interesting. I think he's typically a Chaos Space Marine player, right? Be'lakor, Greninkiwa, Keeper, Seekers, Shalaxi, Celeste, Mask of Slanesh, Demonettes, Double Plague Bearers, Flamers, Seekers. Light on utility, interestingly. But we have the Mask, and Celeste is kind of a utility unit because they always jump into the back line. They throw Deep Strike into the back line and then just don't die for a turn. 2+ regenerate themselves and then kill a bunch of backline infantry. So the unit actually is like probably some serious tech, to be honest. Alright. Alright. We said, what do you think this is, chat? We said that this was going to be boring. But Ryan Agius here, Aegeus? I'm going to say Agius, and then somebody will correct me in the comments later. From Malta, has only the Changeling as his character. There's no greater demons in this list at all. Only the Changeling. Running 12 Nurglings. Pink, 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 pink. Plague Bears, Plague Bears, Plague Bears, Plague Bears, Plague Bears. Flamers, Flamers, Fleshhounds, Fleshhounds, Fleshhounds. What the fuck? This is a boring list, chat? This list is boring, normal, rote, Chaos Demon stuff. We see this all the time. So literally no punching power at all. 12 Nurglings, so we can totally absorb the center of the table. And then pink horrors are impossible to efficiently kill, right? They're okay at shooting, right? They have melee attacks, which are bad. But if you can't kill the entire unit, they will just simply out-OC you literally every turn forever. And there are 60 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good stuff. And then also they're Plague Bears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Plague Bear units as well. So they can follow up and then lock in all the objectives that you're wildly out-OCing with millions and millions of pink horrors. We have seen... Actually, we saw a similar list of this, but I think it was just 60 pinks, and I think it ran some more characters. I don't believe it had the Plague Bears in it. Ages ago, this was an archetype that people were sort of theorizing about. Like, pink horrors are so difficult to one-tap that if you just take a million of them, then the army is probably unkillable. And I think that we're putting that to the test here. Can't deep strike if the whole board is screened. That's true. But the demon player can. The Plague Bear is also, like, they represent a little bit of damage too. They have lethal hits and an AP value, so they're not doing a lot, but they can kill people over a long enough period of time. Flamers as well are good sort of spot clear for infantry units. You can clear out screens and stuff like that by dumping Flamers on it. Unfortunately, and I think that just sort of generally, this list has a weakness to like Space Marine bodies. That's what demons tend to have to struggle with killing outside of the graders. They just, like, they're really good at sweeping a million one-wound infantry, but as soon as you go to 2 wounds with a good save, demons sort of struggle. Flamers are just dead in that matchup, because they're strength 4, and you'll just pay for Armor of Contempt, and they'll do nothing. And then triple Fleshhounds as well for some faster utility on top of that. This list is insane. This is a 127 infantry. Is that right? 110, 160, 117 infantry and 15 beasts. So 132 models total. What the fuck?
Ryan G donated $5 through Super Chat. Greatness awaits. Show us the Harridan list. Also check Helena the Fish. 260-man Imperial Guard list, no tags.
All right, we'll hit up Harridan next. I know you've been waiting for me to look at the Harridan list for like literally a full week, so I don't want to edge you anymore. All right, Ryan Agius over here. Holy shit, this man is wild. He'd be wildin'. This list has 2 War Dog Carnivores. That's actually kind of sweet. Stephen Mitchell's list over here. I actually like the War Dog Carnivores in this in Demons, because like Demons have the maneuverability, right? We get Shalaxi, so we have like a very consistent melee threat. They have the Lord of Change, so they have the shooting threat as well, plus the survivability out of the grid and clean ones. The downside is that they're outside of Shalaxi, their melee threats are wildly inconsistent. And I think that basically everyone has moved away from Bloodthirsters. I think I'm doing the same thing, which crushes me, because I think Bloodthirsters are the coolest shit. But the fact that they have no access to rerolls, and they're just like, they'll fail any one thing and the game's over. You lose. You're 400 points down the drain. They do nothing and then they die. And I think too many games get put onto just this fucking Bloodthirster doing what it needs to do, and then it fails. The War Dog Carnivores are much cheaper. They're a much easier inclusion. Their damage output is like significantly less, but they're still very effective at melee attacks. And so they act as your melee counterpunch in addition to Shalaxi, which I think is actually probably the correct way to go, as much as it pains me to admit. I just painted 2 Bloodthirsters, chat. I painted Scarbrand 2. At least Scarbrand isn't as expensive. But yeah, it's killing me, dude. I played I was posting about it on Facebook, or on Instagram, excuse me. But I played a game after with Jay, Angry Joe's producer, after the stream game, and I got a demonic Denizens of the Warp, pulled up like Realms of Chaos to Bellicor and the Bloodthirster. Bottom 1, dropped Bellicor, 3-inch Deep Strike Bellicor in my backline, 6-inch Deep Strike the Bloodthirster. Got a 6-inch charge with a reroll into a Repulsor Executioner. Hit like 7 out of 9 attacks and wounded 2 times. And I was like, huh. I think I lose now. And the Bloodthirster died. Bellicor almost died. Scarbrand like pulled it out for me because he just rapid ingressed, ate a bunch of shooting, didn't take that much damage, and then killed like a Dreadnought and stuff. But it was like, bro, this fucking Bloodthirster, dude. He left this Repulsor on like 4 wounds, and then the Repulsor's like, I'll fall back, and I'm Blood Angel, so I'll fall back and shoot with no penalty. Here's fucking a million damage from Laser Destroyers into your face. It's like, okay, cool. Chats, it's terrible. Let's take a peek at some Tyranids. Speaking of terrible things, it's Tyranid time. Sam Pope is on Tyranids. Manic Gudimani is on Tyranids. Couple really strong. Listen here. All right, I don't know who is playing the Harridan. We might have to just go down the line. Vanguard Onslaught with a bunch of genes. Oh, okay. Well, that was easy. Fuck me. It was literally the first one in the list. First, alphabetically and in our hearts, chats. Aimé Jacquin. Jacquin. I don't know. I'm going to go with that. Running Broodlord, Deathleaper, Nero Tyrant with Hunting Grounds, Wing Tyranid Prime, Gargoyles, Biovore, Triple Gene Stealers, 10 and 2 units of 5, Double Lictors, a Neurolictor, 2 Neurolictors, excuse me, Raveners, Melee Bioweapon Warriors. Now, the Neurolictors are really interesting because Harrydan gets +1 to wound, so you don't actually really need them on his big, cool gun. It's interesting to see him played in Vanguard because there's really no internal support for him for the detachment. I guess you can turn you can't turn one reserve. I guess maybe you can. All right, so Harrydan's a can of worms, right? Because his model is so physically large that it creates lots of issues. I guess with the new overhang rules, he can overhang the table with his model, not his base, which was not the case previously. So I guess you could seeded brood to bring him on in turn 1. He's not an invader, I don't believe. That would be insane. Although he probably should be, because he's a gargoyle factory, right? Like, if they give it to Trigons, probably give it to this guy. He is not an invader. But, yeah, I think the game plan is that we can seeded brood him on immediately. The weird part is, too, that there's, like, base issues with Harrydan. It's actually... I think it's indeterminate how big his base is supposed to be. I'm sure that they made a ruling on it at the time. If it's large enough that he can fit on, unlike the Tiger Shark, where he can fit on wholly on the table edge and he doesn't have to use large model reserve rules, you could just pay a CP to pop him in immediately. And if you do that out of aircraft, then he can basically see the entire table. So he's like hitting your opponent from turn 1. Let's take a peek at the profile, too. The downside is that he's a little squishy. He's only T10 with 30 wounds, so he's not even like knight profile, but you're paying 1.5 knights worth of cost. He has more wounds, but less saves and toughness. But the ranged attacks are where it's at. You get 2d6 plus 12 strength 10 EP3 3 damage blast attacks that are also +1 to wound. You take D3 mortal wounds to give yourself +1 to wound. It's almost always worth it. And sometimes you don't even take the D3 mortal wounds. It's on a 2+, so occasionally you roll a 1, and you're just like, let's go! It's weird because it always occurs after you make the attack, so it doesn't matter how many wounds you have at the time. You can always attempt it. And you roll a 2+ after you make those attacks. Rolling the 1 doesn't prevent you from getting the +1 to wound. It just prevents you from taking damage. So like it's the one of the few times in 40k you want to roll a 1. Just to play an RTT, it failed 3 6-inch charges all on Bloodthirsters. Feels bad. Yeah, I played a game on stream. It was, I don't know. It's like seared so directly into my brain. It was at the Fans versus Crusaders like tournament. Or, the Fans versus Crusaders, or the Fans versus YouTubers tournament. General Bradley's channel. And, I had 6-inch deep structure Laxi next to a Brotherhood Terminator unit. I didn't rapid ingress because if you rapid ingress and then move her up, then they missed. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay 6 inches away. I'm gonna make the 6-inch charge. Made it. He had a roll the charge, failed it. He had a character, so I get the charge reroll. Rerolled it, failed it again. And I was like, uh-oh, that sucks. The next turn, his unit stayed because they were holding an objective. Shalaxi couldn't move again because he would missed as soon as I moved. So I was like, all right, doing it again. Rolled, rerolled, failed again. I failed 4 6-inch rolls in a row, and Shalaxi spent 2 battle rounds doing nothing. I was like, this is a nightmare. I'm going to lose this game because my, at that time, 450-point character is going to spend the entire game doing nothing. Yeah, it sucks. to be clear, fucking sucks so hard. It's certainly the worst part about playing Demons, I think, is the wild inconsistency. So are there a bunch of meme non-tryhard lists for Worlds? Yeah, so the interesting thing about Worlds is that there are ways to get golden tickets, not just for playing competitively. And Worlds is like a huge showcase, right? Because there's so much coverage on it. Like lists like this one that are just like doing insane stuff are going to get so much discourse that it's like certainly worth it, right? Like we're probably about to look through like 10 identical Tyranid lists, none of which matter, but we're going to spend all of our time on this one. And so people who either aren't particularly worried about winning a bunch of games at Worlds because they're difficult, or people who qualified in some other way and are more worried about this, more interested in presenting to the spectacle of the event, I think are more incentivized to play more insane stuff like Harry Dan or 120 fucking demon infantry. Showing up for the lulz. Had 3 brigands dump everything into the line last week, score 0 wins. Yeah, to be fair, that is like 3+ invulnerable same energy, right? That dude will just, he'll live sometimes. And you're like, fuck, okay, sure. What does Wikipedia say about Harridan's base size? It says 120 by 92. But I don't know if that's correct. I think that, so I had a discussion with I think the Wikipedia team about this when I was doing Harry Dan stuff, and I was like, oh, that's actually, his like base is a little peg. And they said that they had spoken to Forge World, and at the time, that was the base that was given to them. I think he's pictured with a smaller base. I don't know how big this one is. But which is new. This was the original photo, product photo, which is not a standard base. That's an MDF base, I believe. And then this is what he comes with, which is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. But it doesn't list a base size anyway. It says the scenic flying base, which is just the stand. But apparently this is the base size that Forge World supplied to them. Although that's not communicated anywhere else besides Wikipedia, so I don't know. I am sure that they checked it with the judges, and the judges made a ruling on what the base size was. So it's probably that. If it is that, then Harry Dan can scooch on the side of the table, which is pretty good. But this offensive profile, he's shooting on average 19 shots, right? If you're not triggering blast, you're probably putting almost everyone onto a 5+ save. And so you're probably getting like 13 hits. And then if it's a high toughness stuff, you're wounding on 4s. So you're wounding 6 times. They're saving on 5. So you should get 12 damage onto basically anything on turn 1 for a CP. Almost anywhere on the table. And the Games Workshop terrain sets tend to be fairly low to the ground as well, which certainly helps his line of sight too. So it is an interesting place to put Harry Dan into the Vanguard detachment just for this stratagem. But the ability to bring in stuff top 1 is huge, a huge boon, a huge bonus. And especially if you're going second, I think that's even better. But you get a little bit of pressure going first too, so it actually kind of shores up Vanguard Invasion's like normal problem, the problem that it typically has, where the the list struggles so much going second because it wants to forward deploy all this stuff and then push it up into your opponent's face. The Gene Stealers are like really largely trash if you don't go second, or if you end up going second. But going second also means that your opponent gets a full less turn to attack Harry Dan because he's going to drop in the first reinforcement step. So you actually just get like a huge attritional bonus because he gets to jump. They have to move. He gets to jump in and kill something, and then they have to figure out what they're doing after that. Google AI says the base size is 50 millimeters. Dude, Google AI Warhammer stuff is so fucking funny. The thing about like how do you play Adeptus Mechanicus versus World Eaters, like the meme where it's like World Eaters are adept in close combat, you should engage them in close combat, was so fucking funny. That kills me every time. I know AI is going to take over the world, but every time I look at that, I'm like, well, maybe it'll take a couple of decades. Fuck me. Oh, man. Corin Horn. Is that a Star Wars reference? I think I get that. Just started collecting your first time. We found the channel, watched the movement terrain videos last night. Very helpful. Thank you, sir. I'm glad you found them helpful. Welcome to the channel. We do live streams every Monday and Tuesday. Live stream events usually on weekends. And if you go follow me over on Twitch, then we're live over there with games too. Just live all the time. So, but I'm super glad that you found the videos helpful. I hope you're having a good time in the hobby so far, and I hope you stick around for a while. The only reason I know that reference is because of X-Wing. He was an E-Wing pilot. He was like the pilot skill 8 E-Wing pilot. I remember. And he could, God, this is getting the weeds. He could double attack with the downside that he deactivated his weapon systems the next round. So he could take all of his attacks in one turn and then not attack in the next turn. And that was really strong because you would always set up for a strafing run and then take it, and then it would take a turn or two to get around and get your opponent in arc again anyway. So he would always just blitz it and do a bunch of damage that turn. That is my Star Wars X-Wing story. Fucking the X-Wing metagame from like 2014. Sick. It is a fucking Harry Dan list at World Championships, chat. What a world we live in. Let's take a peek at some other lists. I know some people asked about Sam Pope. He's probably on his invasion fleet, but who knows? Who knows what the fuck he's on right now? Okay, he is on his invasion fleet list. So we actually watched this play out at Battle for Salvation. We actually watched Sam play this list. So go check out the day 3 or the day 2 Battle for Salvation stream. We watched Sam in the finals run this invasion fleet, and he like basically made TJ Lanigan cry in that game, which not literally. The name of the list is Cockroach Masochism. But yeah, that TJ like basically gave up that any possibility to win that game as soon as he went second. So we have a Turbogon with Adaptive Biology, so it's got the Feel No Pain and the Enhanced Feel No Pain once it starts taking damage. A Winged Hive Tyrant with Alien Cunning, so we have redeploys. I think that's largely to be able to adjust the guns or the Termagants in response to where the enemy shooting is on turn 1. But I don't know how much that's going to come into play. That might just be a points filler, to be perfectly honest. Excellent stream for the standoff. Interested to see some Hail Mary Sisters of World Eaters list today. Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed the standoff stream. Unfortunately, I have literally no events scheduled for December. Everyone that has talked to me about it didn't get back to me, so. So our next stream will be first week of January. That'll be Everwinter is going to be the next one on the calendar. We've got 10 Hormigons, so we have a fast sort of disruption unit option, and then a ton of Termagants. 80 Termagants, so we can give them the 5+ Feel No Pain. We can regenerate them with teaming masses. And then the Turbigon can also regenerate them. So this list is basically all about primary objective control. This was kind of an archetype that saw some play in like 9th edition, basically for a hot minute, because the Turbigon was like had an insane amount of Termagant regeneration. And you basically just like put Termagants sort of tangentially next to an objective, and then as long as the unit didn't die, you would just regenerate them almost up to full. And then take the objective back, and that's basically what this army's trying to do. So in your command phase, you're regenerating probably like 3d3 Termagants back into the unit that could just chain and add OC onto an objective in the center. They also act as like a body block, because most of the damage from Tyranids, as sad as it is, comes from their ranged attacks. They act as a good body block for the ranged attackers as well. So it's hard to get through the carpet of Termagants in order to get to the Exocrines and stuff, especially if you're a melee army. So they end up just being able to poke at you for the entire game. Then we have a Biovore, triple Exocrines, double Lictor for utility, double Tyrannofex, and a Venomthrope unit to give the to the Termagants stealth to make those units even harder to kill. Yeah, this list looks like, to be honest, kind of oppressive. I'd be interested to see how well it does now as opposed to a month ago, because I think people are ready for infantry, in the infantry meta, right? The horde meta is arriving with Genestealer cults and stuff, and I think people are ready to sweep units. So I'm curious to see if it still has the same level of success. But if you aren't prepared to kill literally every Termagant forever, like you just will never score any points, and Sam's going to score all the points, and then you feel sad. Good stuff. Dustin Weaver has an entertaining list. It's a Death Leaper, Hive Tyrant with perfectly adapted. So that's the floating reroll. I love that enhancement, by the way. Usually he rolls a 1 to hit on his fucking... He rolls at least 1 to hit on his stupid Bone Sword. And then the perfectly adapted is just like, get me out of jail free, chat. Nero Tyrant, Gargoyles, Hormagaunts, Biovore, double Exocrine, Genestealers, double Lictor, Maleceptor, Norn Assimilator, Ravener, Zoanthropes. I guess the meme is that it's an Assimilator, not an Emissary. Alright. Norn Assimilators are whatever. They're too expensive and they die too easily, but the damage output's like actually legitimately there. Especially once you get like lethal sustain from the detachment. I don't know. They punch really hard, so I don't think it's like particularly insane that we took one of them. 290 though. Fuck me. They're too expensive. They're too expensive, chat. It's a 250 point unit in the body of a 290. People keep calling out that they're like more expensive than Gilliman now, and it's like so insane. Just this like a model with literally twice the damage output, a similar level of survivability because he has a regeneration and insane army-wide buffs, and Norn Assimilator's like 50 more points. Great, love that. Bunch of gargoyles too as the battle line, which is interesting. The downside is that I guess so. We're probably, is there a Broodlord in this list? No. So we have 10 Genestealers. We're probably just using the Genestealers to try to sort of like buy the middle of the table. You can't quite throw the Assimilator away as easily as you can with the Emissary, because the Assimilator doesn't have an invulnerable save. So if it gets out in the open, it just eats anti-tank shooting instantly and fucking vaporizes. But if we can buy a turn with the Genestealers and let it like position around, or rapid ingress into a good spot, and then it can get into your opponent's hard targets, it'll just like rip them up. But the tough part is getting there. Let's see. We'll take a quick peek down the line here at the other stuff that's getting played. It's a lot of invasion fleets today. Tyrannofexes and Zoanthropes, kind of standard fare. Invasion fleet with double Broodlord, Hive Tyrant, Narrow Tyrant, triple Execrans, double Gene Stealers, Maleceptors. Yeah, so we're doing a Pierce Drain kind of thing. It's a little fun. It's a Vanguard Onslaught with a Parasite of Mortrex. Okay, all right, and the Swarmlord. All right, triple Broodlord, one with Narrow Node. Triple Broodlord. Okay. 30 Hormigons, 20 Termagants, double Execran, Biovore, triple Gene Stealers, double Lictors, melee Bioweapon Warriors, double Von Ryan Sleepers. So we have 4 independent forward operators, right? Infiltrators. So we can try to use the Von Ryan Sleepers to screen out stuff that could prevent the Gene Stealers from hitting on turn 1. And then the Gene Stealers get their full scout. And you're just like wave attacking your opponent with a trillion Gene Stealers and then following up with the other stuff. Kind of classic Vanguard invasion stuff. But the interesting thing about this is that it's taking less guns, but it has so much more objective control characteristic because it has all these Hormigons and Termagants. The Swarmlord's also interesting as well. It's definitely... It's unfortunate that there's no like internal synergy between the Swarmlord and Vanguard invasion. Or excuse me, and Vanguard Onslaught, because this detachment is so CP hungry. It has like honestly, its stratagems are kind of mediocre, but it has so many opportunities to use them. Like using reactive moves. It has a 2 CP reactive move. It's a really strong reactive move because it lets you move up to 2 things, but the fact that it's 2 CP means it's really difficult to trigger. You also get like the anti-shooting effects. Forcing battle shock checks on people is also super important. So the Swarmlord giving you the additional CP is amazing. I wish there was like a capacity in which you could take the Swarmlord and a Hive Tyrant in this detachment, but it's so difficult because the Swarmlord's just a guy in this one. But it's interesting, I guess, like as the more aggressive your list is, the more interesting the Swarmlord becomes because you get more opportunities to trap enemy melee units inside his CP tax aura. Joaquin Engstrom playing Invasion Fleet stuff. With 20 Neurogods. Okay. Fair enough. Monic is running Vanguard Onslaught. Can I go to lunch yet? Just trying to be fast. A bunch of Molochs. That's kind of cute. We're gonna rapid fire some of these here, chat, real quick, and take a peek before we move on. I think we want to talk about Astra Militarum next. We want to talk about Guardsman Horde. I think that's what was asked. Lots of triple Broodlord Vanguard Onslaught. That's so interesting. I wonder if that gets unfortunately hit by like the GSE, the sort of anti-GSE, metagame. Like if people are preparing for GSE, I feel like you catch a lot of Vanguard Onslaught in the same boat. They basically have an identical game plan, but it's like less exciting. This one is, we get Carnifexes in this one. It's good. It's cool. Crush Your Stampede from Will Paul. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, chats. Swarmlord, Nero Tyrant, Biovore, Lictor, Raveners, Execrant, Harspix, Maleceptor, Trigon, Tyrannifex. Let's fucking go. Look at these monsters, bro. We did get the Haruspexes. We had that discussion about Crush Your Stampede Haruspexes the other day. And basically, it seems like we just cut a Tyrannifex out of the normal build and maybe a utility unit to get 2 Haruspexes in instead. This is also there's an acid spray Tyrannifex in here too. The worry I always have, and this is what I mentioned at the previous time, is that the Haruspexes are easier to kill than like a Maleceptor, so you don't necessarily want to frontline them, but they want to be in the same position on the table, otherwise they have a tough time getting to enemies. But I do wonder if, I guess depending on the terrain layout, the capacity to move them through walls is enough to just make them good. Where, like, you could use them as this melee counterpunch without necessarily having to maneuver them in the same way that you are the ranged stuff. I wonder if that's maybe a consideration. I love my triple Broodlord Vanguard on site, yeah. There's nothing I like better than spending 250 points to do 100 points worth of damage to my opponent, and then give up Assassination, and then still die. That's my favorite thing. Yeah, I just love wildly paying for my melee, my aggressive melee units. I was talking to Stephen Pampreet after the standoff, and he was like, we were talking about Patriarchs, and I was like, it's cool that in Biosanctic Broodsurge, at least we have a Patriarch that hits really hard, right? Because he's AP3, 3 damage, twin lengths, devastating. I was like, that's pretty cool. It's too bad it's because of the enhancement. And he's like, well, they're an epic hero anyway. I was like, yeah, I guess that's fair. That's like thematically appropriate, and also, you wouldn't want to take too many Broodlords regardless, or too many Patriarchs regardless. He's like, yeah. This unit with the Patriarch is 250 points. And, like, very rarely gets its value back. And I was like, yeah, dude, I feel you so hard with that on Broodlords, bro. They have the same offensive profile, the same cost. They just don't get the enhancement. And their, like, abilities are slightly different. But it's like, they don't infiltrate, they scout, but they don't advance and charge. They get hit rerolls. But it's so demoralizing to attack with them. Where you're like, I did work, and my opponent has to play around it, but I just spent a Land Raider worth of points in this fucking idiot unit. Ugh, feels bad, man. A lot of people fall into the trap in thinking that anything in tiers with AP 1 or less does damage. You AP 0? You don't even bother. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Although we did watch those Termagants almost kill a fucking Armiger over at standoff. That was insane. That list is cool. I'm rooting for Will Paul over here, and obviously Harry Dan. Aimé Jacquin? Jackie? I don't know. It's been too long since I spoke French. I hope he kills it with that Crusher Stampede, dude. I want Crusher Stampede to be good so bad, but it's so slow. All right. Let's move back and do some Astra Militarum. I think, do we have to suss out where our, oh, look at all these Astra Militarum players are, chat. Do we have to suss out where the infantry spam list is? Or is it going to be the first one? Bastion! How many infantry do you have? Triple tank commanders! Right off the bat. Platoons, command squad, so we have a Master Box combo with Lord Solar. Lacan's Ghosts, 3 tank commanders. Bunch of Catechins, a Taurox. 3 Libyan Rust battle tanks. Post-nerf Tempestus Aquilons. See, chat? Tempestus Aquilons are still good. My favorite part is Astra Militarum players being like, my faction's literally unplayable without Tempestus Aquilons. If you can't rapid ingress them directly in front of my opponent's face, first of all, they say 2 things. They say, first of all, it's so easily counterable, you just shoot them. And second of all, if I can't do it, I'll never be able to win a game. And it's so funny, because if it's so easily counterable, why do you care that much about it? The ability to do that. But it turns out, we're still running 30 of them. Bastion over here is like, get fucked. They're good. I don't even give a shit. Bjorn Eriksson running Militarum Tempestus Command Squad, Platoon Command Squad. Sly Marbo! Dude, what? It has been a trillion years since I've seen Sly Marbo on the table. Pull this man up. He has a reactive fire, right? Each time you target an Astra Militarum unit within 3 inches after finishing makes his attacks, he can shoot. And then after he shoots, he makes a normal move. I guess he's just like on a baseline, right? He is regiment keyworded, so you can order him. And on a baseline, he can just move like 15 inches. Does he get move on his double movement? I imagine he doesn't, but I have literally no idea. Add 3 to the movement characteristic. Until the start of your next command phase, the unit is affected by the order. Holy shit. So if you move this guy, he infiltrates. So he's already up in front, and you're like, you draw like round 1 engage or something, and you give him move with Lord Solar, and then he moves, shoots, does nothing, moves again. He moves 18 fucking inches. Wait, is Slime Marbo like goated? Hold up. That's sick. What? That's so cool. Yeah, that's actually super cool. I had no idea. I did not know that. Also, it's wild that he's regiment keyworded. I'm shocked to have... Man, the guard character list is so deep and has so many good options. It's like insane that they don't see more play. Catachin Jungle Fighters, Infantry Squad for Lord Solar. Chimeras for the Catachins. Regimental Attaché Unit, see more play as well. Limeros Battle Tank, Rogaldorn, Sentinels, Aquilons, Scions. Nice. Slime Marbo, fucking hell yeah, dude. I love all this tech, man. That's my favorite thing about World Championships. You get to see all the cool tech come out of the woodwork. It's pretty normal stuff. Can also overwatch and move again. I guess that is true. On your opponent's turn. But I guess that also means that, like, he basically... You could... If you have a CP in the chamber to overwatch with him, he's, like, never in danger, right? Because if your opponent's like, oh, okay, I'll move up to attack him, or I'll deep strike or something, and he's like, overwatch? I'll just move outside 12 inches. And you're just like, okay. I'll go fuck myself, I guess. Man, Slime Marbo actually sounds sick. Now I want to play Astra Militarum with Slime Marbo and Iron Hand Strachan. We'll play all the cool Catachin characters. We went through every single Tyranid list, chat. We did all of them. Yeah, these are mostly... Oh, here's the Hydras. We found some Hydras. Who's rocking Hydras today? I didn't even look. Edward Appel. Alright, what's he got? Gaunt's Ghosts, Lord Solar, Platoon Command Squad with Death Mask of Elenius, Grand Strategist Tank Commander, fair enough, good stuff. Jungle Fighters, Jungle Fighters, Jungle Fighters, Double Chimeras, Attilan Rough Riders, Double Hydra, Rugaldorn Battle Tank ×2, Scout Sentinels ×2, Tempestus Aquilons ×2, Tempestus Scions ×2. Alright, fair enough. So normal stuff, except for these fucking Hydras. Let's take a peek at Hydras. Why are we running Hydras? What's going on over there? Anti-fly technology. I took Hydras in Final Liberation because I thought they would beat aircraft, and they did fucking nothing. And I was like, this unit's bad, even in this game. That's crazy. Reroll hit rolls against enemies that fly. It's 4 shots, 9-1-3, twin linked. You can give them +1 to hit, obviously, because it's a it's Astra Militarum. And then they can potentially... Are there Hellhounds in this list? Can we get ignore cover? No. No. No Hellhound. But we can at least overlapping fields it, right? So we can at least get it to AP2. There's also no Luminous Eradicators. They are Squadron 2, so they get lethal sometimes. I guess like 85 points, right? You're like, eh. It's probably fine. You just run them around. It's like running a Chimera around, but you have an actual gun on top instead of like a Mimi multi-laser. Yeah, so like anti-fly is good, right? So that hits a lot of, like, really... There's just a bunch of random shit that has fly. You're going to hit, like, crisis suits and everything that's an Necron and, like, half of the Space Marine vehicles, I guess. I guess most of them actually don't have fly. They're just, like, ground grab tanks, but... you hit that Harry Dan list. Get wrecked, Harry Dan. You run into 2 Hydra autocannons immediately as soon as the game begins. Jump pack troops? Yeah, but you're already winning on 2s, though. So it doesn't matter. Like, you hit, I guess, Venatari. We got those Venatari. It hits, like, Eldar vehicles, too. So there's stuff it matters against. It doesn't feel quite as, like, impactful right now. I guess Chaos Demons are pretty strong currently. And they, like, half their faction has fly, so that hits them. That's probably the most relevant target, honestly. That'd actually be a nightmare for Chaos Demons. Catan Shards, Angron. We have Helbrins at home. Listen, it's half the cost of a Helbrin, all right? It can be okay. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. It seems interesting. It feels like this would be a profile that I would want to, like, dump all the buffs on. You know what I mean? Like, Eradicate or something, and then pump the AP buffs, and then you're firing lethals plus Twin Link. So you have a pretty reasonable chance of getting, like, 2 or 3 of the wound rolls to convert. And then once you pump the AP value, they actually start doing consistent damage. My 40 Aquilons. Bulgrin! Bulgrin still seeing some play over here from Eero. Eero Sakonin. Our Lord Solar, Tempestus Command Squad, Platoon Command Squad, Double Tank Commander, Catachin Jungle Fighters ×2, Infantry Squad, 12 Bulgrin! It's like I'm 3 months ago already. A Luminous Battle Tank, Double Ogren, Aquilons, 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 Scions. You know, Chet, still strong. Even with the FAQ, you still just rock those Aquilons. Honestly, I almost wonder if the Aquilons are, like, more efficient without rapid ingressing them, because you more often have the CP to reinforce them when they drop in. Instead of being at 2, dropping them down, and then not having enough to reanimate the unit, you always have enough when they drop. A couple more Bulgrin as well in this list. We just love Bulgrin over here. Just a big Bulgrin fan. You know what I haven't seen yet is Super Heavies. I haven't seen a single Super Heavy in any of these lists. And you'd think, as we just talked about, a lot of people they love rocking some weird lists. You'd feel like Super Heavies would be the way to go, right? Yeah, those are all pretty normal, to be honest. All right, we wanted to look at Nemo's list. That was the one that we wanted to see? Rocking Acadian Command Squad. 2 Death Corps Marshals. All right, well, you know, you're already in for some sweet stuff. Gaunt's Ghosts, Militarum Command Squad ×3. We have Solar, right? No. And Sly Marbo. What? Who is the Warlord? Oh, it's a Tempester Prime. So we have Secret Mission Tempestus Scions Fuck yeah, dude. Cadian Shock Troopers, Jungle Fighters times 1, 2, 3, 3. Death Corps of Krieg times 2, so 40 to get the 5-up Feel No Pain and then the meta pack and be hard to kill, just generally. Tempestus Scions times 1, 2, 3. Kazurkin times 1, 2, 3. Aquilons times 1, 2, 3. Let's fucking go, dude. So we have... It's 3 units of 10 Scions. So we have 75 deep striking infantry. Because we have 3 units of Scions with attached command squads and 3 units of Aquilons. We have 1, 2, 3, 60 scouting infantry. Because we have the 3 jungle fighters and the 3 Kazurkin teams. And then we have 40 Feel No Pain infantry. Someone get this dude a GSC army. Dude, GSC wish they could shoot as hard as fucking 45 Tempestus Scions dropping on your face. This list fucking rules, dude. Let's go. And Slime Arbo. And Ursula Creed. Hell yeah. And Ursula Creed could potentially jump in with the Cadians as well. So we could Master Vox off Ursula, who is, she just has 2 regiment orders. She's not like a Castellan, which I believe is locked to Cadians. So she can dump 2 Master Vox orders out, plus the order from the command squad commander itself. So you get Lord Solar Light, essentially. You get 3 Master Vox orders out of that unit. And you have the Marshal and stuff. We have Command Rods and the Tempestors. I wonder if there's a universe where you, like, drop the Tempestus command squads. I guess you can drop them alongside Gaunt's ghosts, so Gaunt can issue an order to double up orders with one of the Tempestor primes. And then you could theoretically Inspired Command into a Command Rod unit as well to, like, buff it on your opponent's turn 2 and still hold both orders. Not that that makes a huge difference, but that, like, there's the potential there. Looks like this one on GT a few weeks back. Yeah, we talked about it on stream, actually. I think it's the same player, actually. I think he's just back with the same build. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it is. I wonder what tanks they're bringing. Like, is it Rogel Dorns or Leman Russ today? He's like, no, we're going to tank with Death Corps. The way the guard intended. Is it different? Okay. I guess DGI could help me. I wonder what tanks they're bringing. Death Corps Krieg is what they're bringing. That's the tank. This list fucking rules, dude. Yeah, the double orders is really good. And sometimes, like, you can do funny stuff too if you have any additional characters you can bring out of reserve. I always talk about Iron Hand Strachan, but that's why I like Iron Hand Strachan, because he can jump in a transport or he can jump in reserve, and then he can pop out and order the Tempestus Scions the same turn that they drop in, because you get an end of turn order with them, and that always feels really strong for me. All right, chats. Any other Militarum lists we want to take a peek at? Don't have enough guns. It is the same Nemo, chat. I'm just verifying. This was at the Gem City GT, and on the 2nd, so 2 weeks ago, he did go undefeated with basically the same list. This was we talked about it because it's funny. Oh, it was in a Monday video. I talked about it in a Monday video. When I was traveling to Onslaught. It's funny because he themed it as a UNSC regiment from Halo. So everyone has all the units are named based on Halo stuff, which is very funny. I actually was talking to Angry Joe about this list because there was a funny overlap when I was out with him. Yeah, it was the same guy. Sick. All right, well that's good. I'm glad that that's seeing some repeat success. Very cool. All right, chat. What faction should we hop into next? What do we want to take a peek at? Yeah, for sure. It is nice to see. And it's also, I don't know, it's cool that like the Aquilons can slot into an archetype that's like a little bit more natural for them, rather than just being like an inclusion in basically every list, you know what I mean? Chaos Space Marines, Eldar. Feels like Chaos Space Marines is where we're going. Not too many folks rocking CSM. Can rip that band-aid off real quick. See what we got. I'm hoping for a Fellhammer Siege Host. A Chaos Cult right off the gate. Also, 40k Dirtbags is over here, so I feel like we're going to see some Chaos Cults for sure. We got Cypher, Dark Commune ×3. A Traitor Enforcer. That's the little 2-model character unit, right? The little officer guy who gives like +1 leadership to his unit or something stupid. Once per turn, you can target the unit with Fire Overwatch for 0 CP, even if you've already targeted a different unit with Fire Overwatch. If you do, a bodyguard model is destroyed. Okay. You get a Power Fist guy and an Ogryn, so you get 8 2-damage melee attacks with Dark Pacts out of this unit. Plus an enhanced leadership value. and a second instance of Overwatch. Okay. I mean, alright. 65 points for 8 2-damage melee attacks is like, that's certainly not terrible. Cultist mobs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Chaos Rhino, a Cursed Cultist ×3, Vindicators, and a Forged Friend with some Darklings. Okay, so, wait, hold up. He can only attach to Traitor Guardsmen, but we didn't bring any Traitor Guardsmen. Oh, shit. What have I done? What can we do with him? We can, like, supercharge him with all the buffs, right? So he's leadership 6. When he takes Desperate Pacts, he has a 4+ feel no pain, so he can shrug the D3 mortals you take from failing desperate pacts. Potentially. The officer himself does, and he's 4 wounds. Oh, he's only 3 wounds. It's a little dangerous. It's a little spicy. But you can do +1 strength. You can also do +1 attack. There's a reroll strat, right? Yeah, hit the reroll hits and potentially reroll wins. So this guy's not attaching to anything. But he can be like a little nuclear missile, right? He can be like, you can just like dump CP on this one dude, and he's like full rerolls +1 strength, and he's 8 attacks, and strength like 7 and 8, lethal or sustain with rerolls at 2 damage. Yeah, because there's just literally nothing to attach him to. That's so interesting. Because he is damned, right? That's the benefit? Yeah. Cool. That's cool. Chat, that's cool. That's a cool unit. Battle Strike works 30% of the time, every time. I actually really like this guy. With 65 points, and you get this little dude, this little goober, these two little goobers like back to back, just fighting. That's cool. This is a cool thing. All right, sick. Traitor Enforcer technology. We have Pact-Bound Zealots from Cam Hawkins. Abadoobadon. Cypher, Fabulous Bill, Master of Executions. Vashtor! What? Sick. Just a Pact-Bound Zealot Vashtor. Are you kidding me? Chaos Rhino ×2. Bikers, Annihilator, Chosen ×2. 1 core and 1 undivided, so we have 1 for each of the rhinos. Beast of Nurgle and some Nurglings as allies. So we have Abaddon pumping up the Predator Annihilators, get the lethal hits on 5s, or the sustained hits on 5s from Nurgle with the rerolls. No Hell Brute to get the double wombo combo, but that's probably okay. And then a bunch of punchies. Vashtor is so interesting. He gives +1 strength, right? And he's also just kind of like good at fighting. He doesn't have to choose a keyword to get, right? +1 strength to demon vehicles, which I don't think affects anything. Yeah, so he's just in here for the hammer? Anti-vehicle 4 devastating? Is there any other Pact-Bound Zealot? Stuff? Not really. I guess he's just in here to hit stuff with a hammer. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't choose a keyword because he's not an epic hero. Yeah. Cool. Seems good. Seems good. Yeah, he also has he has a 14 attack sweep profile too. It's only AP 0 though. So it's actually kind of an awkward sweep profile. But like 6 attacks, anti-vehicle 4, 3, devastating, AP damage 3, devastating wounds. So it's like alright. He's moved 12. Unfortunately, he can't. I don't think he can do anything cool out of the stratagems because they'll require keywords, which he doesn't have. You can give him stealth. That's fun. So I think he's just there to hit people with a hammer. If he buffed +1 strength on the predators, that would be sick. But he doesn't do that. Huh. Alright. He's like kind of hard to kill, I guess. A 2-up, 4-up, 14 wounds, T10. Yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, shooting again, making weapons hazardous is super funny too, for sure. You don't want to take like random pistol shots at him because there's a pretty reasonable chance he just does passive damage to you. Plus, you could heal him, I guess, right, with the Zine strat. That's fun. That's fun and cool. Another Renegade Raiders. This one has Huron. Oh, this is Renegade Raiders Huron Blackheart. I think we basically talked about this list the other day. Yeah. Is this the same list? Colin Cochran. Oh, it is. Yeah, we actually talked about this on the Monday video. Colin Cochran is who won the GT the other day. Derek Epchi from 40k Dirtbags running the Chaos Cults. Cypher, Apostle, Amulet, Tainted Vigor, Commune, Fabius Bell. Cultist Mobs times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trader Guardsman Squad. More Trader Guardsmen. More Trader Guardsmen. More Trader Guardsmen. More Trader Guardsmen. No Enforcers, though. Unacceptable. Single Rhino. Triple Curse Cultists. Beast of Nurgle. A Demonette unit. Nurgling Sleekers. Does he have 3? Is it 2 or 3 Dark Communes? It is 2. So he has a naturally, just a, oh, there's an Apostle. Yeah, sorry. So all of the Accursed Communes get attached. We've talked about that list many times because Derek keeps winning with it. He figured out a good strategy and he's sticking with it. Just Derek doing Derek things. Emperor's Children CSM. Ooh, with a Terminator Sorcerer. You love to see it. Cypher, Lucius, Chaos Lord, Fabulous Bell. This is Veterans. Cultist Mob, double Legionaries, Noisy Boys, double Rhinos, Predator Destructors, Chosen. Yeah. Normal stuff. And what looks like more normal stuff. All right, cool. Man, Trader Enforcers. Who would have thought? All right, what's next, chat? What are we looking at? We want to see Tau. We want to see Eldar. How many people on Aeldari these days? Got a couple. A bunch of them. We already looked at Tyranids, chat. We're not going to look back at Tyranids. We looked at every single Tyranid list. There's a little bit of spice in there. Yeah, we looked at Demons as well. Demons was the first one. You can scroll back in the video if you want to see those ones. Let's hop in on Eldar. That's what we're going to do. Matt Laura's rocking Eldar. Well, we're going to take a peek at what he's got going on. 4 Phoenix Lords should be enough. Matt Laura, you know that's fucking wrong. How dare you? It's all fucking 7 or whatever, or leave them at home. Asterman, Autark, Beherith, Death Gesture with Face Messenger, Illic, Nightspear, Candyman, and Fuegan. Candyman, Fuegan, Beherith, Asterman. Alright, sick. No Maugan-Ra, though. Ugh, a dagger to my heart. And no Shadow Spectre guy? What the fuck is Irilith? No Irilith. We left him at home, but he sucks, so it's whatever. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. All right. We've got Azerman. Do we have Dire Avengers? We do. 10 Dire Avengers. Do all of these have attachments? We have Striking Scorpions for Candyman. And that's it. All right, fair enough. That tracks. So Beherith and Fuegan are by themselves. But to be fair, those are 2 that are fine by themselves. Azerman, I think, benefits from having a unit that he can deliver himself with. Because he is he hits like a fucking truck if he gets the melee. Especially against like mid-toughness stuff. The dude will just kill an entire unit of Terminators by himself. We have an Autarch with Weeping Stones, so he can generate additional fate dice when he kills people. Is there a Guardian squad in this list? No. Wait. This isn't a Way Leaper. This is just a guy. But he gets Rites of Battle. Wait, is this brilliant? Hold up. He's 90 points. He's a Starglaive and a Fusion Gun. He has Rites of Battle. So you can 1 CP Fire and Fade him, or you can free strat Phantasm. So he just like gets to shoot his Fusion Gun for free most of the time. And also he can grenade people for free, potentially, to add on the damage additionally as well. So I think he's basically functioning like a Way Leaper, but instead of being literally untargetable, he just makes himself untargetable by using strats. That's actually sick, and you save like 50 points. Okay, alright. Bet. We have Behareth. Unless he go... Can he go in the Dire Avengers? Do we put it? What do Autarchs join? Oh my god. No, just Guardians. Yeah, he has literally no attachment options. Yeah, that's fucking insane. That's not Phoenix Gem, too. This man's not coming back. He has 1 life to live, and he's gonna live it dangerously. Incredible. Tried Azerman with Avengers great into Aquilons. Oh, that's a good call out, actually. Yeah, if they're on an objective, they get the enhanced Overwatch. That's super sick. Especially because there's you have a lot of other like high volume shooting, right? You have the big Ranger squads, the big Shroud Runners. So you have other things that could also Overwatch. So if you want to double it, you could do it. You could also do it for free from the Autarch and then dupe it with Azerman, right? You get that fusion gun shot. Blammo! We have Behareth, who's really cool by himself. He shoots and scoots, so he can like deep strike in, shoot, and then just leave. Or go and get secondaries. Behareth is actually sick. I really like that guy. He's also lethal hits with a 2 damage weapon instead of 1 damage with an AP value too. I think it's AP 2 on his gun. And he's actually good in melee. He has 1,000,000 2 damage attacks with sustain. Death Gesture with Fate's Messenger because it's great. Nothing too exciting there. Foyg and the Fire Lord because he's amazing. Illic Night Spear. So we have a 10-man Ranger squad. So this is like the Matt Laura special. Not that this is a particularly unique combination, but Matt's the only person to play it more reasonably, as far as I can see. But you get 10 Rangers. Illic gives the entire unit lone operative, so they can't be shot. And then he also gives them reroll to wound. So, or is it? It's a wound bonus. It might be +1 to wound. Let's take a peek. Which also affects himself once he's leading, which is important. Because you use your floating rerolls on... Oh, it is reroll wounds. So yeah, okay. I'm not an insane person. So you use your like floating hit reroll on his gunshot almost every time to make sure that you can get it. And then the entire unit's getting wound rerolls. He's devastating, and everyone's precision. So it's a bunch of like AP1 multi-damage. So they're either good at like sandpapering off utility stuff. Like this, the unit will just kill... 5 Space Marines literally every day of the week that run up to do an objective or whatever. And the same with the Death Jester too. So you have a lot of capacity to kill your opponent when they come out to do secondaries without being able to be attacked back because the Rangers have lone operative with him. You could just only be selected as a target if you're within 12. Interestingly, this also isn't actually lone operative. And Illic, even if he's by himself, doesn't get it too. So like the Vindicare Assassin doesn't ignore him. Although you can be Vortex of Doom from 18 inches, which is a little bit weird. Because it's not the lone operative ability, so stuff that ignores lone operative doesn't ignore it. Which is a little bit funny. But it's like a bunch of pretty high value shooting, a bunch of 2 damage wound rerolling gunshots. Also with precision, so if you have important characters, It's a high enough volume that you'll probably get the character out of the unit unless they're particularly tanky. We have double rangers, infiltrators, double shroud runners, double striking scorpions. Oh, we do have swooping hawks. Sorry, chat. I missed that. So there is an attachment for Behareth too. And they actually work particularly well with him because they uppy downy. That's the cool thing about some of the Phoenix Lords where they have like cool synergistic abilities. The swooping hawks are already good by themselves because they can up down. But then Behareth also gives them shoot and scoot. So your capacity to get anywhere on the table is basically unparalleled. I mean, the unit does cost like 300 points, so it's expensive. But you're able to shoot a trillion times anywhere on the table and then run into safety. And then repeat it if your opponent doesn't deal with it. So there's like a ton of just uninteractable units here that are either like moving and shooting and scooting or just literally untargetable. And then a bunch of Warwalkers for high damage stuff. Warp Spiders for utility. Love it. Matt's been playing that list for a while, and it's super cool. All right. Where else are we going in here, chat? Who are we looking at? Well, this is spice. What the fuck? Is this a real list? So it's 3 characters, and then... Are these 5 model player troops? Is that what these are supposed to be? What? What am I looking at? That can't be right. You can't take that many player troops, right? One. Is this 9th edition? Yeah, is it? No, there's only 1 player troop datasheet, chats. Maybe. I don't even think you could fill. This got to be cut off, right? Pistol Caress, Pistol Kiss. That's 10, 13. I have no idea what this list is. Yeah. It just looks like it's incorrect. Somebody email the TO. Make sure that this list is correctly submitted. What the fuck is happening? Alright, we're gonna move on. I don't know what's happening there. Oh my god. Okay. Fair enough. Tim Deetlifts. Rockin' Viceark, your brain. No other characters, no Outarks. Just running some Yannari Spice. Triple Dark Reapers. Double Howling Banshees. Double Striking Scorpions. Double Swooping Hawks. Harlequin Player Troop. So we have the big troop for them. Triple Warp Spiders. Cabalites. Scourges. Venom. Yeah, it's kind of normal Yannari stuff, to be honest. This list is like normal. Bunch of normal things. Pretty normal list. Avatar, Viceark, your brain, Outark. Yeah, basically normal stuff. All normal stuff. Chat. Oh, Hayden Jones are bringing Vipers, actually. Love a good Viper. You get a Bright Lance and a Shuriken Catapult. You can strip cover from people. It's actually super relevant. But I don't think they... I kind of wish they were 65. 75 feels like... I guess, like, I don't know. It's probably fine. It might feel like an iota too expensive, especially when you compare them to other, like, light vehicles. They're very fast and very reliable because they have the floating battle host rerolls. But they're also, like, maybe too strong if you make them cheaper. But I feel like they're underplayed, probably. Oh, here's the Wave Serpent list, chat. It was literally the last one we looked at, of course. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Fuck. Yvrain as the Warlord. That's the only character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Wave Serpents. 3 Vipers. As I just talked about Viper, how Vipers should see more play. We just brought 3 of them. Capelite Warriors times... 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Mandrakes for utility. Reavers. Ynnari Reavers are like probably one of the best units in the game. I'll die on that hill. They're insane. Plus 4 Venoms. That's fascinating. How do you fill all of these? So there are 3 Venoms. So we have to split the cabs, right, to fill the Venoms. So we get... That fills the 4 Venoms, and then we get 4 embarkations into the Wave Serpents. And then Yvrain fills a 5th one. Do you have to start the Mandrakes embarked? Is that what we're doing? Are we embarking Mandrakes? What the fuck? It's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we must be embarking Mandrakes. Why are we running a... What is the point of these Wave Serpents? Do they just have a bunch of guns and an invuln save? So, like, 110, you get the little mortal wound thing. They have an entirely superfluous twin-linked weapon. And an invuln save. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just 110 for 13 wounds with an invuln save, right? Twin Shuriken Cannon, Twin Catapult, Hull. Yeah. And these ones are running Twin Bright Lance. But, like, here's the thing. The Twin Bright Lance is twin-linked, but you have your battle host. So that doesn't do anything. It's just, like, you can use your reroll on a Shuriken Cannon shot, I guess. Cool, man. I mean, I guess they're harder to kill than like Falcons or whatever, right? How many points is a Falcon? Oops, that's Star Avengers. We don't want that. 130. So I guess, yeah, 20 less points. You get half as many gunshots, but you're harder to kill. Or we could be running like fucking Wraith Lords or some shit. I don't know. I guess you're faster. This feels weird. This is a weird list. I don't know if I entirely believe in the providence of 6 Wave Serpents that we have to like contort ourselves to embark units into. Yeah, I don't get it, chat. So yeah, you have to embark to the Wave Serpents though. So like Yvrain is one embarkation and the Mandrakes is the other embarkation. That has to be how this is working. Because if you don't, the Wave Serpents just die. They're dedicated, so they just explode if you don't do that. That means that Yvrain can't attach into anything. And I mean, you can't start Mandrakes on the table, which honestly is not that big of a deal if you only have the 1 infiltration unit. But I think we're just trying to do like a weird invulnerable save hull spam. But like, They're like just T9 hulls. I don't know. It's not that exciting, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure I totally understand it, Jim. Well, maybe it's great, and I'll eat my hat. Charles Barber, more power to you, man. Maybe the Wave Serpent spam is the way to go. Yeah, they also get the little baby grenade. They'll all roll ones. You know that's how it's gonna work. All right, chat. What do we do? What are we looking at next? We have not looked at Custodes yet. Custodes is still open. Agents of the Imperium. Custodes again? Black Templars, Death Guard, Templars again. Uh-oh, we would die. Black Templars again? Alright, everyone wants to see fucking Black Templars. Alright. Okay, chat. We've got 2 Black Templars players to look at. This is going to be a quick one, except they're both really good. Ryan Lappin and Sasha Alexander Edelkraut are both like really strong players, so I think that we have a pretty good chance of Black Templars seeing some success. Ryan Lappin running Righteous Crusaders. A Castellan, High Marshal Helbrecht, Tannhauser Bones Lieutenant, and Emperor's Champion. We just talked about the Emperor's Champion on stream yesterday, actually. We watched him over the weekend at Standard Standoff. I think he was with an assault. He was with an assault intercessor squad, so he was getting wound rerolls. And this dude he's strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage on his strike profile. He is 12 attacks, strength 6, AP 2 on his sweep profile. For 75 points, the dude hits like a fucking truck. And if you can get him wound rerolls on objectives, he's just like ludicrously incredible. And this detachment, he's right in Righteous Crusaders, so he's probably getting lethal or sustained from the detachment benefits. We have Intercessor Squad, Double Impulsor, Inceptors times 2, 1 Bolter, 1 Plasma. You love the wombo combo, because then you can target whatever is most impactful in the particular situation. Usually, if your opponent doesn't have cover, the Assault Bolters get really good. Plasma Exterminator's good into heavy infantry and stuff. Infiltrators, Redeemer, Sword Brethren, Sword Brethren, Sword Brethren, Scouts. So we have 2 Impulsors, and they're all... Okay, so it's a 10-man Sword Brethren squad to go inside the transport, or inside the Land Raider, excuse me. And then 2 5s to go inside the Impulsors. We have... Helbrecht and the LT can hop into one unit, into the big unit, probably. And then the Castellan gets an Impulsor, and the Champion gets an Impulsor. It seems like, to me, is probably going to be what goes on here. Let's take a peek at the Castellan real quick. He's another instance of a lieutenant, essentially. But that means you can dual attach him with Helbrecht. You can't dual attach him, unfortunately, with the Emperor's Champion, because he's not a captain or chapter master. What is the difference between him and a lieutenant? I guess it's just weapon options. Is he cheaper? He must be cheaper, right? He's 5 points cheaper. Okay. He can't take the shield, but he's 5 points cheaper. Fair enough. But you take the shield because Tannhauser's Bones gives you half damage. So the shield guy is super tough to kill. Makes sense to me. So you probably run the shield. I guess you maybe run the shield guy by himself, and then you rock the Castellan with Helbrecht in the big unit for the 5-up sustains. You get 5-up lethal sustain, and then the Emperor's Champion just runs around with his own unit. The Sword Brethren kills the world, yeah. 10 Sword Brethren with 5 up lethal sustain, yeah. Plus Halbrecht? You're like, okay. You're just dead. You're just a dead man. GG. Sasha Alexander Edelkraut, what are we rocking? Black Templars Crusaders. Prevent fallback. I will no escape you now. Castellan with Sigismund's Seal. High Marshal Helbrecht. Lieutenant with Tannhauser's Bones and the Storm Shield. The guy's in everywhere. A Heavy Intercessor Squad. We are already coming out of the gate swinging. Holy shit. Okay. An Intercessor Squad. Triple Ballistus. This is spice. Triple Ballistus Dreadnought. Gladiator Lancer. Blade Guard Veterans. Land Raider Crusader. That's a Crusader, chat. Sword Brethren, Scouts, Vindicator, Calexis Assassin. Calexis Assassin. What? Okay. Let's break this shit down. So we have... Who are we rocking all these guys into? The Blade Guard Veteran Squad. So we have a Blade Guard Veteran Squad inside the Crusader with the dual attachment. Lieutenant... Helbrecht Castellan, most likely. The Lieutenant... Oh, actually, they could jump into the Sword Brethren. And then maybe the Lieutenant hangs out with the Blade Guard Veterans to stack the defensive buffs. Because you can strat for Uphold the Honor of the Emperor, right? And then get them a Feel No Pain, thanks to Tannhauser's Bones. So with a 4+ invulnerable save and a 5+ Feel No Pain, they're actually tough to kill. And then that gives you 7 models in this unit and 7 models in this unit. So that's 14. So you could theoretically, because it's a Crusader, it's a 16 transport capacity, you could put both units inside the Crusader, both infantry squads. So you have the super punchy Primera Sword Brethren and the super defensive Blade Guard Veterans. All in the one Land Raider. And then the guns, the ranged profile of the list. We basically talked about this. If you caught the stream yesterday, we talked about this at length with Brian Sipes' list because it was running, and I think this is like a key to effective Space Marine list construction. You have to identify an obvious target for your Oath of Moment every turn. In order to do that, if you can make 1/2 of your damage output, because Space Marines are always well-rounded on their damage output. If you can make 1/2 of your damage output be effective regardless of Oath of Moment, then you can basically always efficiently get your rerolls. So the Ballistus Dreadnought and the Gladiator Lancers all have baked-in rerolls, which means that whatever you're going to charge with your Sword Brethren, you always Oath of Moment. That's always the obvious choice, and the rest of your list operates independently. The Ballistus Dreadnoughts get rerolls if you're above fast strength. The Gladiator Lancer has the floating Aquiline Optics. You do have the Vindicator in here, which is interesting, and the Crusader, but they might just be like early game pushes. You can put kind of a front wall of high toughness 2+ saves, and then shoot at enemies. Round 2 or 3, you start disembarking and charging, and that's when you get the use out of basically the army-wide rerolls by applying Oath to whatever you're charging, and shooting your Ballistus at whatever they get rerolls against. So that makes all of your attacks hyper-efficient, regardless of your Oath target. Oh, that's a good call-out, chat, too. Yeah, the 6+ Feel No Pain on the Ballistus and the Intercessors is pretty sweet, too. Yeah, and the Intercessors have that damage, the EP reduction effect as well. So, like, holding a backline objective, if they're stacking defensive buffs, actually makes them kind of tanky. Helbrecht and the LT go into the Blade Guard squad. Oh, what am I doing? Wait, why am I? Fuck me. I was went to look at Helbrecht's datasheet, and somehow I clicked on Intercessors. I don't know. What am I doing in my life? Yeah, I don't know if Feldbrecht can attach the Blade Guard veterans, chat. That might be, I think that he probably... I think we're just jumping the lieutenant in there, right? Yeah. That's a cool list. That's a cool list, chats. It's well-rounded. It has good melee and good range. It has tankiness. That is classic Space Marines. All right. I feel like Custodes are next. Everybody keeps talking about Custodes. So, oh, no, not Custupides. Custodes. Let's talk about some Custodes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Custodes players. Michael Armor is what everyone is interested in, right? All right. We are already off to a good start. Warlord, Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike. Okay. Okay, chat. From the Hall of the Armories is the melee enhancement, right? It's so interesting. It's like so rare that you see enhancement heavy Adeptus Custodes. That is +1 strength and damage. +1 strength and damage. It
Brian
is.
G donated
Let's go.
$5 through Super Chat. Not sure if you saw, but according to the WCW FAQ, if you rapid ingress a drop pod, the guys inside are locked within. Clear OSHA violation.
We did talk about that. I don't know if there's a if there's an update to the FAQ, but we did talk about that in. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. Appreciate you. We did talk about that in the video about the FAQ that I made. It's I think it's a case of it's two directly contradictory rules, right? Because the WCW FAQ says you cannot disembark. The data sheet says you must disembark. So I think, unless there's been an additional clarification, I think that the implication is that the more specific datasheet rule will override the more general core rule, but I don't know if that is the case. It kind of feels like an oversight. I think they just forgot that they had a bunch of vehicles that required you to disembark when they arrived, but I don't know. I don't know, chat. We did talk about that on the video, though, the WCW FAQ video. Definitely feels like an issue, for sure. All right, folks, let's talk about this freaking list. So, yeah, it's a Dawn Eagle Jetbike Shield Captain. He's +1 strength and damage. Let's pull his data sheet up real quick. Right quick. Here he is. He can do his fallback move, end of the fight phase, so he can swing and scoot. Whoop, see ya. He's strength 8, 3 damage with Lance, so he wins basically everything on 4s at worst. With the Martial Kata, lethal or sustained. Probably sustained, to be honest, if I'm honest with you. He's really expensive, 165 points. But he's 7 wounds with a 2-up, 4-up, T6. I want to like this guy so much. This points value is like killing me. And he also can Rites of Battle himself, so that's cute. Anathema Sakana Rhino, 2 Caladius Grav Tanks, Contemptor Galidus ×2, Telemon ×2, Venerable Contemptor ×2, Witch Seekers ×2, Navigator ×2. Sick. That's a cool list. So we have a lot of backline sort of objective protection from the Navigators. Witch Seekers can jump into the Rhino to give it scout, so we have a lot of forward operation there. And then the rest of the list is like Caladius Grav Tanks to shoot over top, and then a ton of Dreadnoughts. Now I know, I actually just talked with some players a couple weeks ago about how they felt about the Dreadnought heavy lists, because this is not actually the first time we've seen Dreadnought heavy lists like attempted in Custodes. They do get the benefit now, I think, if on the Telemons, if they take 2 melee weapons, but it doesn't look like we're doing that today. They have Arachnus Storm Cannons. The issue, I think, with it is just their speed, because everything is slow. The Venerable Contemptors are cool because they can reanimate themselves, so they're difficult to take down. And then with Martial Katas, they have like 1,000,000 3-damage attacks that are all going to get buffed up. But the awkward part is their capacity to actually get to melee. But I think what they're basically going to try to do is get in, lock down objectives, and then obsec them, I guess. Because they can Vigilance Eternal in your movement phase. Oh, excuse me. No, you have to be battle line. Just kidding. You can't do that. Fuck. So I guess we're just like, we're just tanking. Yeah, I don't know. At least they have all the benefits of, they can Archaeotech munitions to be good at shooting, I guess. But at least they're high toughness with a bunch of defensive characteristics too. He's like a better Scoreback Lord? I don't know about that. He's like a side grade of a Scoreback Lord. Yeah, it's an interesting one, chat. I don't know. We're gonna see if it's good. I hope it is. It'd be sick. All right. I might give us a little intermission here. I have to go to the bathroom. We've been at it for 2 hours already, so I think I'm gonna give myself 2 or 3 minutes here. I'll refresh my water and go run to the potty real quick. But we'll be back momentarily, folks. So I'll see you in a sec, everybody. Cheers. What's up? We're back. Thanks everyone for hanging out, holding out for me. Feeling much better now. Yeah, let's talk some Custodes, dude. Let's keep going. Let's keep going with some Custodians. Let's see if we got anything spicy. Got any Null Maiden Vigils? We have some Talons of the Emperor. Let's go. Double Blade Champion Valerian. 1 Custodian. With Inquisitor Draxus. That's where she's going. Witch Seekers ×2. Wardens ×2. Or Wardens ×3, excuse me. Caladius, Grab Tanks ×2. Sakana Rhino. Alright, well, it's kind of normal. Sort of a normal list. Interesting, it's in Talons rather than Shield Host, but man, that reactive move is a hell of a drug. So, not too surprising. Another Shield Host. Triple Blade Champions. It's pretty normal, again. Just doing Custodian Wardens stuff. We're mostly kind of doing the same thing in most of these lists. The unfortunate, I guess it's the downside of having a very limited faction. So you also don't have that much list variety. This one has Aeldari Custodians in it, so it's kind of cute. More Talons. We're actually seeing quite a few Talons of the Emperor. Seeing some play, which is cool. Might sneeze. Muted myself right in time. Nailed it! Boom! Thomas Crossgrove running Talons with Alea, triple Blade Champion as well. It's mostly just Blade Champions and Wardens, I think, is basically where we're at with the state of the faction these days. Yeah, Blade Champions and Wardens. Got a Telemon in this one, and some Virtus Praetors. It's actually cute. With a Dawn Eagle Jet by Shield Captain. Okay, so this one's a little bit interesting. Travis Hameloth. It is a Shield Host, so like we just looked at. 2 Blade Champions, 1 with Panoptic specs to get ignore cover. Shield Captain with the +1 damage. Dawn Eagle Jetbike Shield Captain with Auric Mantle. So that is the additional wounds. So he goes to 9 wounds. I wonder, do you think there's a universe where we could run like multiple Dawn Eagle Shield Captains? I don't know if I believe in it, chat, but I kind of feel like there's something there. I wonder if there's a Shield Captain spam you could make happen. I'm thinking like Dawn Eagle Jetbikes. Let's think about it after we look at this list. We got 5 Custodian Guard, Alaris Custodians. We don't have an attachment for them. They're just chilling. Custodian Wardens ×2, Prosecutors, Telemon Dreadnought, Virtus Praetors, Witch Seekers. So the big benefit from the Virtus Praetors is that they also get to make the end of fight phase move when the Dawn Eagle Jetbike Shield Captain fights. So the attachment, it's like what are we looking at? Almost 400 point brick. And unfortunately, it's not that hard to kill. Just T6 with 4 wounds. But it can react to it pretty well. Did they change their bombing run? I was just reading. Let's look at their data sheet real quick. Their bombing run used to affect regular moves, right? But it only works on advanced moves now, which they then can't attack afterward. This unit, chat. It's it's like they don't want it to be good. Fuck me. Oh my god. I don't understand. There's no way to give them advance in charge, right? Not in the entire faction. You need like shield. You need Blade Champions for that. I don't get it. I don't understand this unit. It has always been advance. Yeah, I know they changed the captain's ability, so it only triggers after fighting now. Man, God, what a fucking trash data sheet. Who designed this? Why do you have to end an advance move? Make it a normal move. It would be better if it worked on worse movements. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, you can auto 6 while doing it and then just die. Yeah. Lucky for you on 15 bikes. Oh, good. More bikes than you can legally play anymore. God. I knew the Virtus Praetor situation was dire, chat. I didn't know it was this dire. They have 2 abilities that combo together to make nothing. You can do like 6 mortal wounds instead of attacking with your 400 point unit. What the fuck? Okay. Oops. I mean, it's fun spice, right? But this data sheet is fucking horrible. What the hell? If there was a way to advance and charge with this unit, I think it would immediately be good. But there's just not. God damn. All right. Wow. That's impressive. So you could run Auric champions, but here's the thing. I actually think Shield Host might be better. Like, Auric champions, you can get the +1 to wound on people. I guess characters get, like, rerolls. That's pretty good. And then you can do the 4+ field up hand, too. But the bonuses on Martial Katas is, like, kind of a big deal. And the other weird thing is that, if we're running Dawn Eagle Shield Captains, they actually don't benefit really from the Auric Champion's ability because they already have Lance. But what if you ran like 3 Dawn Eagle Shield Captains? Does Auric have good enhancements for them? Not really. Oh, +2 Veiled Blade is good, I guess. And then, like, I guess this is okay, but it's kind of whatever, honestly. Like, their enhancements are kind of bad. This might also be okay. And then you could run 3, like, regular shield captain, or Alaris shield captains, right? Because they get their 2+ invulnerable save once per game. Or, excuse me, not 2+ invulnerable save. They're reduced damage to 1 once per game. So you can play them really aggressively. And that's like 900 points, right? Singleton Trajan Valoris gets the 2+ invulnerable save once per game. So he's like a good Singleton guy, too. And then we start running out because it's only regular shield captains. I guess Blade champions are pretty good by themselves because they can still advance and charge. They don't need to be attached to a unit in order to do that. They just lose their rear charge reroll, but it's like honestly fine. I think there's a list in there somewhere. Yeah, the Hall of the Armory shield captain, yeah. That does seem cool. I guess the other benefit you would get from Auric Champions is the ability to redo their once per games. Oh, but it's only Warlords. Wait, chat. Can you redo Moment Shackle? Wait. You can duplicate Moment Shackle? Hold up. What? What? How come I've never seen that happen in my life? I guess it's 2 CP. That's insane. I did not realize that. That's incredible. Hold up. That's what? That's so cool. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh, but it has to be used. I see. It's the timing's really weird. It's not that you can pay 2CP to use it again. It's you can pay 2CP when you use it to reset it. So if your opponent, if you use it and then your opponent kills the character, you don't get it back. Okay. That's why I haven't seen it. I guess it's good on shield captains that can use that for 1 CP. But 2 CP is a lot for an ability you might not get the benefit of. Yeah, you can't duplicate the bombing run. That's not how it works. Alright. Alright, that's less good than I thought it was. I was like... right as I was about to be all in on Auric Champions. That's cool, though. That's an interesting variety. I like that. Virtus Praetors, though, is not very good. It's so weird that they're just up to 6. It's so bizarre. All right. What are we diving into next, chat? The Blood Angels captains are waiting first. So I kind of don't want to do the Blood Angels captain list. I should play it. I should at least play it one time, right? But like, I kind of don't want to because I know that all captains is going to be terrible. But you can do it, and I want to take other stuff, but then it's not on all captains list. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, you could pay the CP to do it again, but if you die anyway, then it's like, doesn't matter, right? Death Guard, Grey Knights, Imperial Knights. We can peek at Death Guard. People have been waiting for Death Guard for a while. Let's take a look. Let's take a look-see. Curious to see if we see like too many interesting evolutions out of Death Guard. Dan when it's running double sorcerer, Sword of Contagion, Foul Blight Spawn, Plaguecaster, Typhus, Plague Marines. It does feel kind of rote. Garrett Stacy running triple Terminators, Mortarion, Cultists, Death Shrouds. Alright, I got some Blight Haulers going on, plus Poxmark unit. So I think we have Typhus. We do have Typhus. So this one, this is Garrett from Watchers in the Dark, by the way. Running triple Terminator Sorcerers for the -1 damage inside the Death Shroud Terminator units. Typhus inside the Poxwalker unit, so you get the -1 to hit. Double Cultists, triple Bloat Drones with Mowers, triple Blight Haulers. So we basically have like 6, essentially 6 Bloat Drone profiles. I think Mephitic Blight Haulers have flown under the radar for so long. But in the universe where Fetid Bloat Drones are a really important data sheet for the faction in order to be effective, having basically access to 3 more of them that are like dedicated anti-tank shooting is actually sick. Because having that like independent single activation, cheap but like resilient unit that's relatively fast is just really strong. And it's cool that they're able to get work done. Jerry Zhang. I love that we have WCW qualifiers from China, though. That's like so sick. Running Mortarion. Mostly this is sort of like Predator Destructor stuff. Joshua Minich. Running more Destructors and Brigands. Destructors and Brigands is, it should be DB. Instead of Death Guard, it should be Death... Something begins with B, because the 2 units that we have is Destructors and Brigands. This one has a Demon Prince. Alright, that's kind of exciting. Justin Signer Delorme. Running double Terminator Sorcerers, Lord of Contagion, Typhus. The Demon Prince. Blight Lord Terminators times 2, Spawn times 2, Cultist times 2, Death Shroud Terminators, Blight Lords. Alright, I'm just... Hold up. I glossed. That went right over my head. I was like, okay, it's 2 Terminator units. Cool. Yeah, they're Blight Lord Terminators, my guy. Fuck. Okay, you got me there. Okay. Alright. Alright, we should talk about this. Alright, so the Death Guard Demon Prince, I believe gives you cover. Because he's the foot guy. Let's grab his data sheet. Oh, excuse me. 6 up, feel no pain. That's definitely not what I said. Mea culpa. That was wrong. That's actually it's really good. It's much better than cover. I think that's the Heretic Astartes guy who gives you cover. He also he's a little slow, but you're running with friggin' Blightlord Terminator, so like who cares? He has Living Plague, so he adds 3 inches to his contagion. So he starts at a 6, right? And then he moves up from there. So he could be at Battle Round 3 onwards. He's a 12-inch aura of a 6+ feel no pain. Okay. Okay. I'm picking it up. So we have 2 Terminator units. They don't have any capacity to double attach, right? So I think either Typhus is by himself here, or we're just leaving a Terminator Sorcerer by themselves, I guess. Because we have the Lord of Contagion who wants to attach in. And Typhus also kind of wants to attach into this Death Shroud unit. So that either one of those might be the case. But either way, I imagine that the Sorcerer is attached into the Blightlord Terminator units. Because it feels like, to me, we're basically trying to push the defensive characteristics of Blightlord Terminators like through the roof, right? So we can potentially be -1 damage in melee with a 6+ feel no pain for 30 points per model. Which is like, when you think about it, kind of an insane defensive profile. At T6, 4 up, invuln? Like, okay. You gonna get through 30 wounds on that? Not easily. We got double Chaos Spawn, Cultist times 2, Death Shroud Terminators, 2 Blow Drones, Nurglings, double Warlock Brigands. This list is wild. 20 Blightlord Terminators, chat. Doesn't he not give himself the feel no pain? That's a great question. Oh, yeah, it's only infantry. Yeah, so he doesn't give it to himself. I guess that's good because he's not benefiting tank lines with him. I think you would see him in the lists that are running like a bunch of like fucking Predator Annihilators or whatever. And Plague Bruise Crawlers, you would almost certainly see that guy. But yeah, it means he doesn't affect himself with it. Probably for the best. That's really cool. That's an interesting archetype, chat. I'm interested to see how well it does. Noah Norin Neuendorfer going into the Death Guard. ecosystem. We got 20 Poxwalkers, 6 Man of Death Shroud, 2 Predator Destructors, Cultists times 2, Rhinos times 3, 2 units of 5 Plague Marines, 2 units of 10 Plague Marines, so 30 Plague Marines. And then we have fitted variants for them, 2 Biologus Putrefiers, 2 Foul Blightspawn, 2 Malignant Plaguecasters. So we probably have 2 10s with all of the melee guys, with the Blightspawn and the Putrefiers, and then the 2 5s with the Plaguecasters for their gunshot. Pretty cool. Ranshin Lee, more Destructors and Brigands. The old DMB. You've heard of a B&B, but now for a D&B. More D&B. And Votech. This time running Plagueburst Crawlers instead of the only Destructors. And Carnivores instead of the Brigands. Okay, that's interesting. That's cool. So he's rocking... I think it's Votyek is how you say that. How you pronounce that. I hope I did that right. It's been a while, I think, since he won a GT, and I had to look up his pronunciation of his name for a video. I think it's Votyek. Shishneki. Shishteki? I think that's right. Mortarion, Typhus, Cultist times 2, Destructors times 3, 3 Fetid Bloat Drones, 2 Plagueburst Crawlers, Nurglings times 2, Carnivores times 3. So, instead of... It's kind of backwards of how we would normally see a Death Guard army, where it's building out the ranged attacks, or it's comboing with the ranged attacks from Brigands, backing it up with Death Guard melee, because you're taking, like, Death Shrouds and Plague Marines. Instead, we're doing it the opposite direction. So all of the guns are Death Guard, and we're basically wombo comboing with Carnivores. The Carnivores they have a little bit of a weakness to high toughness characteristics, because they're only strength 12. Only strength 12. So if they punch into, like, Land Raiders and Great Unclean Ones and stuff, they actually can run into like sort of reliability problems, because there's a very reasonable chance that they just flub out on their wound roll. But if you're contagioning people, you could potentially be essentially AP 4, strength like 13 basically, and that's a huge breakpoint on the profile for these guys. Plus, they're very fast melee options, which Death Guard don't normally have, right? They kind of require you to come into them outside of like Death Shroud's Rapid Ingressing or something, which is screenable. They kind of require you to come into them and then they counterpunch, and realistically the Carnivores don't operate that way. They're fast enough that they can actually get the hit first if they are given the opportunity to. That's cool. That's cool to see. All right, chat. Who are we off to next? Imperial Agents? I think somebody's... Brian Carlin said Imperial Agents because they'll be quick. Let's look. Only 2. Ooh. Only 2. Isaac Gutierrez is running Imperialis Fleet. Are they both on Imperialis Fleet? I have to imagine that they are. Yeah. Yes, indeed. The one good one. These look like very different lists, too, which is awesome. So, Calidus Assassin, Eversor Assassin. This is Isaac Gutierrez, obviously. And then these have the opportunity. You take one of each because you can flip between the different points values of Assassin as well. So, those could be any 2 Assassins, essentially, from the book. Carrier Dranxus, 1 Navigator. The Watchmaster. Double Watchmaster. We have 2 10-man Deathwatch kill teams to jump the Watchmasters into, and that gives them really good sort of melee counterpunch. And then you could use the +1 to hit Oath of Moment essentially too to shore up the Deathwatch Thunderhammers. So these guys give you a very strong sort of second wave melee attack. Imperial Navy Breacher team, an Immolator, Terminators, Inquisitorial Agents, Battle Sisters, Voidsmen, Canis. Okay. Canis Rex, my guy. What's up, dude? We have no Rogue Traders. The 2 Watchmasters are pretty well accounted for. Inquisitor Draxus, I think, just jumps into the Breacher team because she's really good in there. Eversor Assassin, yeah. And then I think we're just playing, like, keep away with the rest of it. Oh my god, excuse me, chap. Ugh, rude. We have a sister squad with the Immolator, so we can strip cover the... and we have 2 OBSEC outlets as well, if you combat squad them. Imperial Navy Breachers with Draxus in them get access to the Displacer field, so they can teleport in response to shooting. We have... Is there a way to deliver the Deathwatch? I imagine they're just in reserve. Or at least, like, one can be in reserve, I guess. One of the Watchmasters gives you infiltration on 3 infantry. So that could be the Breachers. Maybe the Agents or something. As well as one of the Deathwatch kill teams. Although we don't have the redeployments or the combat landers to deep strike them in. So I think we're just delivering them with infiltration. Yeah, the Deathwatch can have infiltrate, but the interesting thing about the enhancement is that it doesn't have to be the unit that has it, right? You can target anyone with the effect, to give them infiltration. But likely it's in there to work on the kill teams. That's probably how it works. Interesting. This army feels really light on the ground for an Imperialis fleet. Like, it's very elite, right? It's Canis, a Breacher team, and 2 Deathwatch kill teams, and then Chaff, essentially. And that's about it. You have the Terminators, which are a bulwark. You have the Sister Squad, with the Immolator, which is important. But the rest of the list is kind of just, like, little stuff. I think that's probably going to be very different for Robert Moreland's list, which is rocking 3 Inquisitors. Plus Inquisitor Draxus and a Navigator. Yeah, foot slogging sounds terrible. But also you can, like, rapid ingress off the side, and that's not too bad. The big benefit is that they can both shoot and... They can advance, shoot, and charge with the Watchmaster. So even if they're ingressing in a weird spot, they can still sort of access a lot of the table, which is a big benefit that the Watchmaster unit has over a lot of infantry units that you're bringing on. This is already an interesting start. Yeah, nobody expects the 4 Inquisitors. You can fit them in a Rhino, but he didn't take a Rhino. Isaac didn't have a Rhino. He just had an Immolator. Was the only transport. But oftentimes you see them in a Rhino. That's what we watched at Onslaught. So Clandestine Operation Navigator. So he's got the Infiltration Enhancement 2. Breachers times 3. Those are usually a good spot for the Inquisitors. They get access. They then get the character buffs, so they get displacement field, and you have a devastating torrent on the Shockwave, plus a combi weapon's also a devastating weapon. So the Inquisitors themselves get 2 devastating attacks that they can dual attack with, which means that they're probably good for, like, I think we masked it like 3-ish mortal wounds per shot is a pretty reasonable thing to expect. We have double Immolators plus a Chimera. Granite Terminator Squad times 3. Really? Okay. All right. 10 inquisitorial agents times 2. Maybe the Inquisitors are just in agent squads. They get -1 to be wounded while they're attached with an Inquisitor, right? Where's their data sheet? I was having trouble. Ugh, man. Yeah, -1 to be wounded. So they... I think you almost always want Draxus in the reroll wounds team, it feels like, because she has the 2 damage devastating gun. But then we're just rocking like 1,000,000 agents, I guess. Battle Sister Squad. I guess there's just like 100 points for 10 like idiots with a bunch of different guns, which could, I don't know, maybe that's good. It feels like you want the -1 to be wounded for that to make sense, but I don't know. 2 Battle Sister Squads, 2 Subductor Squads as well. The Inquisitors go on the Grey Knights? Really? For... do they have like good CP regen there? I guess, like, I don't know, the Displacer is good, maybe? But you already have a 4+ Inbound. Do they have the verbiage where they gain Deep Strike if their attached unit has it? I can never remember who does that. Because otherwise you would lose Deep Strike on the Terminators, right? They do have that? Okay. The 3+ refund? What are you using on Terminators? Just Displacers? That feels so weird to not be not have them on Breachers. The displacement field also only sustained in Lance, I guess. Interesting. That's absolutely not what I would have expected. If they do go in the Terminator squads. I don't know. That seems really weird. There's like so much weird like counter synergy there. So it's just rocking inquisitorial agents just as like guys. I guess they have better shooting than Battle Sisters, but it kind of feels like you would just run Battle Sisters, right? I guess we're maxed on Battle Sisters, actually. Oh, no, not quite. There's 2. Yeah, I don't know, chat. I don't know if I'd be surprised if those Inquisitors go in the Terminators, but that might be the case. It feels like the CP regen is like an additional benefit, right? Especially in Pariah Nexus, when like, oftentimes you can generate CP over the round anyway off of objective discards. I guess like reasonably with a list like this, you want to be scoring your objectives every turn. But I would not have like expected the Inquisitor in a list like that, the primary modus of use, like the primary use case, to be as a CP generation source. For 165 points, it's a lot for potential for a +1 CP that round. They can't get the +1 AP, right? That's Voidfarer's locked. Am I crazy? Oh, I just closed my fucking window with the stratagems. Yeah, the +1 AP is Voidfarer's locked. You can't use that on Terminators. It's literally only Lance, sustained hits and Lance, or fallback and shoot. You can't charge with it. Or the displacer field. Yeah, I think it's basically like the fallback and shoot is like whatever. It's basically only these two. No, these two. So like getting regen on a TCP strat's like good, obviously. Because that's expensive. You want to be able to offset the cost of that as much as you can. But and then obviously having access to displacer field is good for the reposition, but you already have a 4+ invulnerable save, so you're only getting use of half the squad basically, or half the strat. Yeah. There's no fallback in charge though, chat, right? I don't believe there is. So there's no way to use that. Yeah, TCP it's a lot for sure. Sustained 1 and Lance is good though. That's a good combination. Although it's not like this list is using a ton of CP in other situations anyway, because it can close quarters barrage off the breachers, which honestly might literally be where you get your regen from. I don't know. I feel like you have 3 Inquisitors and 3 breacher teams. It feels to me like where they're going. You get regen off close quarters barrage. We can only regen 1 CP a turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter where it comes from. Plus, you get a displacer field to give them an invuln save. Plus, you get wound rerolls in the devastating gun. I don't know. That seems like the place to be. But I'm not an Imperial Agents player. Maybe I'm an insane person. Yeah, we're not talking about Ordo Meta List right now, chat. We're talking about this list. All right, let's move on. I like that though. I think the Inquisitor datasheet is highly underrated. I think. I wonder if there's a universe where you could play a deep striking Codiaz in a list like this, and then get the Navy breachers ignore cover. They don't need it. There's no way to get ignore cover elsewhere, right? But if you have that dude, he could just point it at people, and then these units get they get even more dangerous. That feels kind of sweet. You could get +1 AP and ignore cover and +1 strength and reroll wounds. I would play that. I'd fuck with that for sure. Oh, breachers have it? Oh, just kidding. I'll go fuck myself. Fair enough, chat. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I don't remember that. I just remember the cool little servo skull guy he gives you as a grenade. Who can remember? All right, real quick. Can we talk about how this 90-point throwaway unit is the most fucking complicated thing in the world? Look at this. This is a 90-point battle line infantry squad. What the fuck is this data sheet? 18-inch grenade, ignore cover, reroll ones, full rerolls. You also have set 4 special weapons, melee weapons, different guns on everyone. It's the most insanely complicated data sheet ever built. This is 8th edition technology right here. I am an insane person, chat. Listen, we're going on hour 3 of a live stream about the World Championships list. Of course I'm an insane person. It looks like the Plague Marine datasheet. It looks like the Plague Marine datasheet. It's true. Breachers are nuts. I run them all shotgun so my game doesn't take as long. You're like, listen, I could get max efficiency out of this, but like, fuck it. My poor chest clock is gonna die. Oh my god. Insane, chat. Favorite part is the bad plasma. Oh, because it's AP2? It's 1 to 2, not 2 to 3. They were like, listen, you gotta ignore cover. You're basically AP3 already. You'll be fine. That is funny. I wonder if that'll get eroded at some point. I don't know how much that matters, but that's a little annoying thing to keep track of, which I'm sure people aren't that excited about. No, I wouldn't even play Cody as in a unit. He doesn't, like... Does he have a leadership ability? I don't even know. A 6+ invulnerable save. Sick. No, I would just play him by himself. And then you can target him with the clandestine operation to infiltrate him, and he just, like, hangs out in the middle of the table and then runs up and ignore covers people that you care about. He also, importantly, doesn't have to see the target. So he can just hide, like, in a center ruin the entire game and give ignore cover to people. Which I think is important. I guess it's in your command phase. That's less good than I thought it was. You'd have to, like, ingress him if you wanted to do deep strike stuff. Lame. But I think you could just hang him out in the middle of the table and he's probably okay. But honestly, with the Breachers being able to ignore cover anyway, I don't know how relevant it is. I forgot that they did that. I forgot the third ability on their datasheet. I'm sorry. Mea culpa. Oh my god. Imperial Agents, what a time. We said that was going to be quick, and then we just talked about it for like 15 minutes. And steal some CP from Calgar, yeah. Get wrecked. Still seem to see some CP from the other Inquisitors. You're like, what do you got? Some regular fucking Inquisitors? That's my command points, sir. Alright, chat. What are we looking at next? How are we feeling? Yeah, I know it works on its abilities only. Anybody who gets it from a card discard is doing it wrong. It's not how it works. We have not done Blood Angels. Could take a peek at Blood Angels. That's good because it's new. I'm probably going to be live for another probably 45 minutes, chat. I do have a stream game over on the Twitchies in 2 hours. I'm probably going to play some Insane Spice. So I can't decide whether it's going to be a Captain's List or it's going to be Bird Flu. But it's going to be one of the two. So please go follow me on Twitch. All right, so let's take a peek. Let's look at Borgia. Running Liberator. I'm actually curious. Let's take a peek at a Liberator list, and then let's do let's do a little bit of a deep dive and see if we can find any non-Liberator lists, because that's what I'm most excited about. We've looked at a lot of Liberator Assault Force lists since the Codex came out, but we haven't seen any of the other detachments see some play, and I'd like to see that. So we have a Speed of the Primarch Jump Pack Captain, Ragefield Warrior on a Jump Pack Captain. Whoa! Okay, so we're not running it on the Finest Hour guy. We just have a Thunderhammer dude with the sustains. Mephiston, Sanguinor, 2 Jump Pack Assault Intercessor unit, 3 Jump Pack Assault Intercessor units, excuse me, 2 Ball Predators, Infiltrators, Sanguinary Guard, Sanguinary Guard, Sanguinary Guard, Vindicator, Vindicator. Okay, so we have... Is there Dante? No, right? So we have an unattached Sanguinary Guard unit? Is that real? Huh. Okay, alright. So, almost certainly you attach into the big unit, right? To get the -1 to be wounded. And then another unit with an attachment. And then the third one's just chilling, I guess? We don't need the attachment, the bodyguard, like, benefits for them? Sure. I mean, I guess, like, who cares? What are we running with them? And Carmine Blades on everyone, which makes sense for Liberator, because they get to Strength 9 if they have an attached Captain. So they're 5 attacks at Strength 9. This is really good. Yeah, there's one big one. Yeah, there's one big unit. +2 Vindicators for shooting. That's so interesting. 2 Vindicators, 2 Ball Predators, 3 little Intercessor Assault Squads. That's like basically what's on the table. And then we have the 2 lone operative characters, and then the 3 Sanguinary Guard units kind of as the counterpunch. It feels so light on the ground, but the amount of damage that Sanguinary Guard do is so incredible that I don't like it. It's probably, it makes sense. All right, that's a cool list. A little Sanguinary Guard spice. Let me take a peek here real quick, and I'm actually gonna see if we can find any non-Liberator Blood Angels momentarily here. What if the answer is literally no? All right, we're running out, chat. we're getting close to the end. Oh no. Oh no. I think it might literally all be Blood Angel or Liberator. It is. It's 100% Liberator Assault Group. Oh no. This codex came out with the internal balance of a fucking seesaw. Oh no. Alright, well. I'm gonna cut Blood Angel short in protest, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Once you've seen one Liberator Assault group, you've seen them all. What? There's 3 units of Jump Pack Assault Intercessors and some number of Elite Jump Pack units. Okay, cool. Good job, team. We found out. We figured it out. Mephiston is beyond annoying as Tyranids. Yeah, because he's an enemy unit. Tyranids are only good at if the opponent forgot to bring any models, you know? At least they have one functional detachment. I mean, like, real talk, you could cut... I think this might be controversial. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my butt. But I think you could straight up remove Liberator Assault Group from the game, and the other detachments would just, like, still see play. People would not be... Like, if Liberator had been cut entirely instead of being wildly buffed, I think people would still have been excited about the Blood Angels Codex. You know what I mean? Like, the other detachments are cool and have a lot of interesting things going for them. They're just, like, not as, like, straightforwardly powerful as Liberator. And it's just, like, I don't know. It feels like a kind of a failure. That we have all these other things going on in this faction that just, like, fuck it, who cares? Killed 4 lictors yesterday, tied up a Norn for 3 turns. See, the way to get around that, the way to get around having Mephiston kill all your Tyranid models is you don't take any Tyranid models. That's how you do it. If you register as a different faction that isn't Tyranids, you'll have a better chance. In every matchup, but also into Mephiston. Maybe not into G-Store Called, actually. I think that matchup's really good for Tyranids. At least traditionally it has been. Alright. Let's talk about some Chaos Knights. There's only 3. That's wild. First of all, let's talk about that real quick. What the fuck is that? Only 3 Chaos Knights for this, like, insane... For this faction that's been fucking destroying everyone? I feel like my music's really loud, chat. I'm gonna turn it down. Play GST if you want G-Stores. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What is Mephiston gonna do? He's gonna kill like 1 aberrant, and then the Abominant's gonna hit him upside the head and do like 14 damage and kill him through his Feel No Pain. That's how that matchup's gonna go. Alright, how many War Dog Brigand spams do we have? Stalker, bunch of Brigands, Bush Cardboard. Okay, that's the most boring. We started with the most boring list of all time. Cool. Pierre de Bay. This feels like it's on a spectrum of interest. We started with literally all War Dogs, and we've graduated to 1 big knight. Good start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Brigands, 4 Carnivores, Beast of Nurgle, Plague Bearers. It's a Cerastus Knight Lancer, which is cool. So we have a big tanky knight, no enhancements on him, but he does get the 4+ invulnerable save, he's fast. All the normal buffs. I think I actually appreciate the Rampager a little more, because you save a bunch of points. You can get another utility unit in the list. And he's like theoretically faster, because he gets his 1 per game advance in charge. But no baked in 4+ invulnerable save, so that's a big difference. This guy also only has 5 attacks, so sometimes he just misses and it sucks. And then Eric Marcoux. Alright. Nah, this is a stalker list. With blue horrors and an Exalted Flamer. That's cool. Otherwise, pretty normal, though. Exalted Flamers, I think, are probably underplayed. We actually had a long discussion with a Darren about them, I think, when we were playing Bird Flu. They're 65 points, and they have a Strength 9, 3-shot, Strength 9, 3 damage ranged attack, and that slows you down. They're, like, actually insane. The downside is that demons always run character heavy, and they're really easy to kill. Or I shouldn't say really easy. They're like T5 with a 4+ invuln. They're not hard to kill. And so I think you turn on Assassination in a big way. But if you are playing a list like that one we saw with a bunch of pink horrors in it, for example, I think Exalted Flamers are actually kind of incredible because they add a little bit of anti-tank shooting into your army for super low points investment. You can buff them to Strength 10 with a Lord of Change. You can get Ignore Cover from a Burning Chariot. Like, you can actually make their gun really good. And so for like 195 points, you get 3 of them, 9 3-damage shots. That Deep Strike, and you can just jump anywhere or act as a utility unit. I actually think they're really strong. The Flamer does not give Ignore Cover, no. You have to have a Burning Chariot to get the Ignore Cover. So basically, like, I believe, I guess we can take a look at their data sheet. They Ignore Cover themselves all the time. I might have just totally, like, biffed it on the Burning Chariot combo, because I think they Ignore Cover all the time. Yeah, they do. I'm just a moron. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. They Ignore Cover all the time. The Burning Chariot has an ability that grants Ignore Cover to everything that they when they shoot at the same target. Oh, there's 6 wounds. They're not 5. There's 6 wounds. but only 2/4. So you don't need you can just give them +1 strength. You don't need to ignore cover. But the thing that they do is they do this 4+, you're -2 to charge, and if you have multiples of them, you can duplicate it, so you can attempt it multiple times at a single target. The downside is it's a 4+ and it's non-monster, non-vehicle, but like I don't know, it's not the end of the world. Most of the time, you're not that worried about monsters and vehicles coming into a demon army anyway, because the most damage they do to you is shooting. If they're punching you in melee, you're probably okay. And you don't want to get hit by like high volume infantry units regardless, so I think that's still fine. The downside is a 4+. That's awkward, but it is what it is. Have we seen the Chariot in Chaos Knights? We haven't. But that's actually a really interesting place for it to go, potentially. That's another unit that I think is underplayed for sure as well. Because it has exactly the same offensive profile as an Exalted Flamer, because it's an Exalted Flamer on the top. And then it strips cover from the thing it shoots at. And that's not faction locked, right? That it doesn't have to be a Chaos Demon thing. It just does that. Yeah. So yeah, so cool to see the Exalted Flamer see some play. A lot of people took like a Bile Piper or the little like the little Nurgle guy who's 10 points less, but he doesn't have a gun, and he's a little harder to kill because he's got a Feel No Pain. But in the same capacity as like a Singleton Deep Striker, the awkward part is that it's more difficult to unlock the slot to take the Exalted Flamer because you have to take the Horrors. But if you're taking the Horrors anyway, he's much better than the Nurgle guy, as long as you have the points for him, because he can actually kill people. The Flux Master is also kind of funny in that spot too, because he is the Infernal Master auto 6. I wonder if there's also probably like a funny Zeech character build too somewhere in there, where you'll take like Lords of Change and a bunch of little like independent characters running around that can like wombo combo to do 1 trillion damage. Slavic Biopiper is the single best name in 40k, probably. All right, what else do we want to take a peek at here, chat? We've got time for 1 or 2 more factions, I think. Anyone have any particularly spicy ones? Interesting, Colin Burns is rocking Glees of Botan. He literally just played Astra Militarum on stream the other day. Bunch of Necrons. Like 1 trillion Necrons. Jesus Christ. Calm down, Necron players. How many Necrons do we have? Holy 29? Okay. It's like 11% Necrons. Fuck me. Jesus. I missed a Chaos Knights list? I don't think so. I think we got all of them. Yeah, we literally talked about all 3. Yeah. World Championships is this weekend. We haven't... There's nothing there yet. Anything interesting from Dark Angels? You can take a pretty good peek at Dark Angels. With the reduction of Gladius performance. Olivier Weiss is running Dark Angels, actually. That's fascinating. Company of Hunters? Alright. Okay. Okay, Olivier. Way to pique my interest. Sick. So this is advance and fall back and still shoot, I believe, is the detachment ability. I'll be honest with you, chat. This is Company of Hunters is a detachment that I'm not intimately familiar with. For some reason, somehow. All right. Let's take a peek. Yeah, so advance and fall back and still shoot. We have a combat weapon lieutenant, triple tech marine. Are there... Oh, there's dreadnoughts. Oh, okay. Lionel Johnson. Triple ballistas, infiltrator. Double invaders. Triple destructor, hammer strike. Good call. Fucking insane unit. Double vindicator. This list is fucking wild. What? So it's advance and fall back and still shoot. We have Lionel Johnson can basically just like sit in the middle. He can chain lone operative from a tech marine because the tech marine gets it from the vehicle, and then he gets it from the infantry. So he can sit in the middle of the formation and still be untargetable. So you have to, in order to come in, you have to deal with a heroically intervening fight first, like 4 damage guy. We have 3 ballistic dreadnoughts because they're great. Infiltrator squad, double invader, predator destructors. The hammer strike gives ignore cover, so all that low AP stuff is just fine. Double vindicators. I don't believe that there is any synergy between this list and its stratagems. You can be -1 to hit on, I think, literally... excuse me. No, the invaders can do stuff. The invaders and the hammer strike get Raven Wing keyword, I believe. Yeah, all the storm speeders and all the mounted units. So we can uppy downy. Okay, all right. I'm putting it together. There's an uppy downy for Raven Wings that puts it into strategic reserve. Because we have a hammer strike, it deep strikes. So we can re-deep strike this dude every turn if it doesn't die. We can also make it -1 to be hit. And the ATVs can also uppy downy into strategic reserve, and they can lock objectives. So you can like infiltrator out your backline and then like lock your home objective from turn 1 or whatever. And then just like run around the invader ATVs and just keep doing that and drop them into strategic reserve after they've done it. And then the rest of the list is super consistent because you can't engage it and do anything, right? Profitable, because they're just going to fall back and shoot you. This list is really cool. Can force battle shock at -1. Oh boy. This list is rules. I love it. Not to mention the fact that you can just dump, like if you need to, you can just dump CP on this fucker, right? You can always be threatening a heroic intervention. You have like rerolls on your incredible saves, float rerolls on your hit rolls and stuff. Just like jumping CP rerolls on that guy. This list is cool. This is a cool list. ATVs sound cool as hell with sticky and uppy downy. Yeah, for sure. Man, God, that's creative as fuck. We talked about Company of Hunters very briefly when we were talking about Storm Speeders, because it's like an interesting combo, but it doesn't improve their damage at all, so I was kind of like mediocre on it. But the fact that you could just play an army of guys with really good guns and be like, eh, fuck it. I just advance and charge my whole army, or advance and shoot my whole army. I'm just in both tactical and Devastator Doctrine for the entire game. You're like, oh, okay, cool. That tracks. That's pretty good. That's so cool, dude. What a list. I'm glad that's the one that we clicked on. Oh man. Look at World Eaters? Yeah. Let's take a peek at World Eaters. Let's see if we can find anything that's not Word Eaters. No. Let's see if we can find anything that's particularly spicy and not just 8-pound. I'm curious. I'm curious as well. I have kind of a sneaky suspicion we're going to get a Liberator Strike Force kind of deal here, where everything's just 6 units of Exalted 8-bound, or 6 units of 8-bound, but we'll see if we can find one. There's one with only 4 units of 8-bound and 2 Forge Fiends. Wow, what a time to be alive. Yeah, I think World Eaters is literally all 8-bound as far as the eye can see. Yep. Some of the lists have 2 Forge Fiends in it, and that's like basically the only variety. Unfortunate. I'm sorry, chat. All right, what haven't we looked at so far? Orks, Drukhari, Imperial Knights. Let's see if there's any Imperial Knights going around. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, Jesus. What? Why are there so many Imperial Knight players? What has happened? Who hurt them? Mostly kind of normal stuff. It's like, oh, we got Armiger spam, Canis, triple Helverin, 6 Warglaves, Jesus, plus a Battle Sister Squad and Immolator. That's kind of cool. 230 points, so like 1.5 Armigers, and you get 3 units out of it. That's not too bad. Plus ignore cover on all your for all your Helverins. That's actually really good. It's actually really good. Another similar list. I just clicked on an entirely different player and got the same list, basically. Yeah, I wonder... That's actually... It's so expensive, but, like, you get the OBSEC and the chaff units is already very valuable. And then you can also get ignore cover on your, like, AP2 autocannons. That's actually probably a really playable variety, honestly. Sounds like how T-Suns is too, yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate because those factions are all like so narrow in their datasheet count that you're never going to get to a spot where you have like a ton of really playable options. We got Canis Rex, an Atropos, and a Lancer. It's a Mysterious Guardian Atropos in this list from Fret Tremblay. So he can uppy downy and hop around the table. Plus 3 Warglaves, Calidus, and Eversor. This is a cool list. I actually really like that. I think the Mysterious Guardian is like the best spot for the Atropos, in my opinion. Because you get the interesting angles on a good range profile, and then you could also just like randomly hit the charge. You can't do that with the Crusader variety. The Crusader always wants to like up and then drop and stand there for the entire game. So it wants to drop in a spot where it has like good lanes. But the Atropos is just like, fuck it, I'm gonna roll a 9. Just wreck your whole day. Let's go. It feels like the... Oh, this is the same... This is another instance of the same list. Okay, I wonder if that's very common now. I think this is this guy's real name. I think so. I believe. There you go, chat. Berserkers on rhinos. Well, usually you put the Berserkers in the Rhino, you know what I mean? I feel like that's where we're at. Take a peek over at Drukhari real quick here as we're running through the last couple of factions. Skari! Rocking some Real Space Raid. We watched some pretty good play out of Sky Splinter yesterday, or over the weekend. But Real Space Raid definitely feels like the way to be. Labyrinthine, Cunning, Archon, a Beastmaster, Lilith, Yuri, and Rakarth. So we have unlocked all the pain tokens. Cabinet Warriors, Rex, Raider, Venom, Court of the Archon, double Chronos, 2x3 Grotesques. 3. Wild. Do they fit in Raiders if there are 3 of them? Oh, we didn't take any. There's no transports in this list. Oh no, there's 2 Venoms and a Raider. Okay. Ignore me. Fuck. Jesus Christ. I imagine that the Raider is embarking a court, right? We have a Cabalite squad, so we can split it with a Venom, and then put the court with the Archon in the big unit, put them in the Raider. Get all the rerolls, billion wound rerolls. Double Chronos, double Mandrakes, Ravager, 1 Reaver unit, Scourges with Haywire, double Talos. Just a trillion Haywire. Just dodge monsters, I guess. But, like, honestly, it's probably fine either way. No aircraft. 3 transports, 1 Ravager. So there are exactly 3 Dark Lances in this list. This list feels so light. I guess it's like 2 Talos bricks, right? Is what we're getting a lot of our output out of. So it's a Beastmaster on the table. Lilith, I guess, can, like, occupy the Raider after the Art Court leaves. I guess you could also just, like, not... You could just put the court on the ground, I guess. You don't necessarily need them to be in a transport. Or you split the Witches. Actually, you probably split the Witches. I bet Lilith gets a Venom. So you have a Venom for half the Cabalites and the Witches. The Raider for the big brick. And then you have Urian Rakarth in a brick of 10 guys who can regenerate them and be on someone to wound. And then we're like following that up with 2 units of Talos. It does feel really small on the ground, but I think that's as you're so used to the sort of like MSU Sky Splinter stuff. We do have a little Sky Splinter Assault action over here from Angel. 3 Archons, 1 with the no, please don't shoot me, sir. Lilith Hesperax, Cabalites, Witches, Raider, triple Venom, a Court, double Chronos, triple Incubi, Mandrakes, double Scourges, double Talos, Void Reavers. Cool! Cool to see Void Reavers. That's exciting. You got a little scouting unit. Got a little forward operation for turn 1 secondaries. Let's go. All Incubi in the Venoms. There's no... Oh, there is a Court of the Archon, excuse me. So we have an unattached Incubi unit. A Raider for the Cabalites to go into. So we have the Sustain 2 combo. It's pretty standard. Yeah, they've always been able to be taken in Drukhari, but like you never really did it. Because like why? But now that they're cheap enough, you do. Back in the day, they were really good because they had CP Region baked in 9th edition. But there wasn't really a reason to take them in 10th. But now that they're cheap enough and they're like a cheap scout, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, 50% of the Beastmaster, yeah. Obviously, they're very different unit than the Beastmaster, because they're kind of a one-hit wonder, right? They're going to come in and do a thing and like just fucking vaporize. But, you know, they're not that expensive, so. Got a Bully Boys detachment over here from Benjamin Powell. Triple Warboss, Gazgul Thraka. Double Mega Warboss. And a Weird Boy. Let's go. We have 5 war bosses. 1 boy squad, double truck, Gretchen. 3 units of 5 mega knobs. So we have Gazgul in a 5er and 2 other 5ers. with the power armor knobs, or the power armor war bosses. Excuse me. 15 knobs for the regular war bosses to go into the trucks. Storm boys as well. Only 2 transports, huh? No battle wagon. This is a lot of ground pounding. 1 unit's gonna rapid ingress in. Bloop. The knobs are out. 2 of them are gonna go into 1 truck. The other one's gonna go into another truck. Gazgul's ground pounding. Another Mega Knob unit's ground pounding. And we're just like, go. Go get them, boys. That's interesting. Our War Horde. Do we have any Dread Mobs? I'm kind of interested. Green Tide gets some play. John Holbrook. RIP Truck? What is this referencing? Do we dare look at this YouTube video? Okay, boring. Green Tide with a Big Mac, Snickrot, Belligerent Pain Boy times 3. Okay. War Boss times 3, so we can dual attach onto a billion boys. Weird Boy with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of boys, 2 units of Gretchen, a commando squad, some storm boys. Alright, easy game. Just 120 boys. Let's fucking go, dude. Love it. I knew it was going to be Limp Bizkit. Is that all the orcs? Yeah, more war hordes as well. Alright, chats. What have we missed? I guess we haven't looked at regular Space Marines, but to be honest, like, whatever. Genestealer Cult and Lieutenant Necrons, I feel like, has gotten so much of a peek that we haven't really taken a peek at them. Tau Empire is kind of interesting. It's a lot of play. Jack Harpster's running Tau. I wonder if he's still on, yeah, his Retaliation Cadre. Fight a nickel for every time the WCW meta was dominated with 3 heavy indirect tanks backed up by Fate dice. I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happens, right? Yeah, last time it was Night Spinners, I guess. Now it's just Exorcists. Double Cold Star battlesuits, triple Enforcer battlesuits, 1 with Starflare, 2 Broadside battlesuit units, 3 Star Scythe battlesuit units, 3 Sunforge battlesuit units, Ghost Keel, Carnivores, Stealth battlesuits times 3. That's the list. Yeah, we actually watched this one in play at the Tampa Open. This list is incredible, by the way, chat. It's so aggressive and just so, like, everything is just offensively oriented. All you're doing is pushing suits into people. You have, like, it's going to give up Bring It Down, and it's going to give up Assassination, and you don't really care that much because the idea is that you table your opponent before they hit you. And that's basically the entire thing it's doing. It's rapid ingressing, it's 3-inch deep striking, it's putting everyone, all the battle suits, just like in very aggressive positions, and then just killing people. I think this was the most impressive I've been. Retaliation Cadre, I think I've been the most impressed out of any of the Tau detachments. Take a peek at Richard Siegler's Mechanicus. I know that y'all want to take a look at that. Yeah, strike teams aren't that uncommon anymore. It's a little weird since Carnivores got a points cut, but they're, like, strike teams are still just super cheap OC2 infantry. They don't really stack up quite as well against the Carnivores because they don't have all of the other abilities, but they're still basically the same. They like fill the same role, essentially. Siegler's rocking a Skitarii Marshal with Battle Spear, 2 Techno Archaeologists. Very light on characters. No Marshal, just one Marshal. That's it. Battlesphere is the only good one, really. But it's interesting that we don't have any like Veiled Hunter or Clandestine Infiltrator. Ranking Rangers, double Vanguard, a Dune Rider, double Dune Crawler, Traxi times 3? No. Yeah, 3. 25 Taraxi plus 10 Sterilizers. Chat, I'm telling you, the way to win with AdMech is to add more Taraxi to your army. We're slowly increasing the Taraxi quotient of the Adeptus Mechanicus, population. See, as soon we'll be at maximum Taraxi. Max Rexy. Well, every list will just be 60 Taraxi, and then we'll call it a day. I do think you run out of usefulness, but the meme is real. You definitely don't need that many Taraxi, but it is funny. We have double Sicarian Infiltrators, 3 Scorpius Disintegrators as well. So we're basically just using these Sky Stalkers to make a big wall in front of your opponent. Because they can either move, shoot, move, or deep strike move. As long as they're near the Vanguard, which is pretty easy because you can do that before they trigger Battlesphere uplink. So you can run the Vanguard to the middle, shoot with your Sky Stalkers, move the Sky Stalkers, shoot with the Vanguard, run them away back in the transport, and then just recycle. And you just pin your opponent in their deployment zone like that. And then you shoot them all these tanks that we brought. Yeah, we're running heavy phosphor blasters on the onagers. Yeah, so I think that's probably an answer, or, you know, constructing an answer for GSC, right? Or, like, at least, you know, horde stuff. The phosphor is not bad in other situations, because it's 12 shots twin-linked, right? Yeah, 12 shots twin-linked. AP1 ignore cover, so it's like kind of AP2, to be honest. So it's good enough into heavier targets. You're putting most things on like a 4-ish up save, and you're forcing enough wounds through. Like against a normal opponent, you're probably gonna be like, you hit 8, wound like 5. So they're probably eating like 4 to 6 damage against like heavy stuff with high toughness. But you're also so consistent against light stuff that you could just like plow through. Like 5 Space Marines will probably just die unless they AOC. 2 activations of that will kill like 10 infantry. Also, it's the coolest looking gun, right? That's like, that helps, I imagine. It's the double like autocannon thing, right? Oh, it's this guy. It's this little baby. Oh, I kind of like its double autocannon. That's the Icarus array, though. I think this one might be my favorite. Double phosphor is a close second. The neutron laser looks a little silly to me. Yeah, no thrall net. No thrall net at all. We just left it. Look at that. Look at what it, oh, that's the eradication beamer, right? And then this is the neutron laser. I guess it's okay. But I like the stacked guns. I think they're cool. Sweet. Oh, man. Eradication beamer is the coolest? I don't know, chat. It's definitely the most AdMech-y. It definitely like fits into the AdMech aesthetic quite a bit because it's just like a silly looking 1950s sci-fi like gun. Some sort of Flash Gordon technology in there. It depends on how much you like that, I guess. Chat. Anything else we don't want to take a peek at? We're closing in on 3.5 hours here, so I think we're gonna probably wrap things up in a bit. But if we have any other last minute lists or factions that we want to dive into, I'll be happy to do that before we wrap things up. There were some big Imperial Knights. Yeah, we looked at Imperial Knights a couple minutes ago. Most of them were like 3 big Knights and then some number of Armigers. There were a bunch of like 1 big Knight and like 10 Armigers, but there were a couple ones that were 3 big Knights. Any Grey Knights? Yeah, I didn't look at Grey Knights at all. Let's see what Grey Knights would bring in today. Just watch there be literally no Grey Knight players. No, there's a couple. Chase Chappelle is rocking a Sigil Brotherhood Librarian, a Domina Liber Daemonica. Fucking librarian. What? Bro, why? I think we had 15 points left over. That's +1 to wound in melee and +1 damage against demons. Let's go. Get them. And then Castellan Crow and Caldor Drago. Crow, we actually, so in the stream where we talked about bad factions, Castellan Crow came up in the conversation because he's like constructs a unit that's very good at killing stuff that Grey Knights are already very good at killing. So you're like, I don't know, why do we need this guy? But now that we're staring down the barrel of getting rocked by Genestealer Cult and Astra Militarum, Purifiers might be sick, actually. There's like a bunch of aberrants running around being like, we're toughness 6 with -1 to be wounded, what are you gonna do? And they're like, I don't know. Fucking shoot you with anti-infantry 2, like, guns 40 times. And you're like, oh, okay, fair enough, I'll die, I guess. Caldor Drago's got a big Terminator squad, 2 strike squads. So these Brotherhood Librarians are by themselves. I love the idea of this kid teleporting and just be like, I'm a charge. Vortex of Doom. Also, here I come. I'm going to hit you with my stick. Bonk. 2 Interceptor squads. Paladin squad. Oh, so one of them could have the Paladin squad, actually. That might be what we're doing. Big Purifier squad and a Callid Assassin. So very light on the ground, but it also all infantry. It's a big 10-man Purifier, so we get it's the full, what is it, 74 attacks out of that unit? Oh, it's 4 Incinerators, excuse me. So it's 34 Purifying Flames plus 4d6 Incinerators plus 24 Stormbolters. No, 28 Stormbolters. So it's 62 1 damage shot, 62 attack hit rolls, and then probably 14 auto hits. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Crow also shreds Death Shroud Terminators. That is also probably very relevant. What is he? God, I want to play Grey Knights now. Fuck. What is the AP? I know that the Purifying Flame ignores cover, right? But it's only AP 1, is that right? It is only AP 1. So I don't know. They're winning a saving on 3s, I guess. But it is anti-infantry 2. Yeah, they do die, like, instantly. You're paying 25 points a model for a +1 save Marine. Doesn't feel that great. Hoping to see hordes at your next GT? Hell yeah. Magical Lawnmower, are you playing Grey Knights? Are you going to sweep them? Sweep them with those cool Castle and Crow? Oh, dude. All right. Dude, great. All right. Let's real talk here. The first 2 lists we clicked on were like a bunch of cool special characters. We're not running like stupid fucking Nemesis Dread Knight spam. Just like herder, try to like knuckle drag on the keyboard and then die. We're playing cool characters. This one's running Kaldor Drago, Double Brotherhood Librarians, Grandmaster with Sigil of Exigence, Voldus. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. It's been a million fucking years since I've seen Voldus on the table. What a trip. This dude rules, though. He's strength 10, 3 damage in melee, and he tank shocks you at the start when he's selected to fight. So roll a d6, add 2 if your target is a demon keyword. On a 4+, you take d3 mortal wounds, and a 6, you do d3 plus 3. He's like a Brutalis Dreadnought. Yeah. Yeah, he's the only actual, like, deep, like actual fucking Thunderhammer. Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate too that I think we're slowly coming around to the fact that the Nemesis Dreadknights are not the way forward. But yeah, so like he's in a Purifier squad, so everyone hits on 2s, and you're -1 to be hit and wounded, and potentially -1 AP as well. So the unit's just like fucking impossible to kill. Yeah, and he's in with 10 Paladins. Let's go. 10 Paladins, double strikes, 15 Terminators. It's 2 Naked Librarians, so we're putting Drago into a unit of 10, probably. And then Sigil of Exigence on a Grand Master. Oh, he might be in the unit of 10, actually. I'm actually not sure where they're... Oh, or he could be in the Psy Cannon unit? No, we're running Incinerators. Yeah. He's probably inside the Terminators, the 10-man Terminators. And then we have Kaldor Drago into the other Terminator squad, too. +2 naked, just like librarians running around. Dude, this list fucking rules. I think it's definitely a matchup thing, because the factions I play, I think, tend to be very weak against Grey Knights. But I'm fucking terrified of this list, dude. If I saw this across the table, I would curl into a ball and then cry, because it's so difficult to profitably engage with any of it, because it's like it can miss to Sigil. It does so many. It has the potential to do so many mortal wounds with their librarians. And then the modifier ignoring makes the big unit just, it's like so like awkward. It's like so good at very situationally beating its opponent. Yeah. And then Drago with the 5, yeah, just as like he could just like eat objectives. Give me that. Nom 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 nom. What a cool fucking list, chat. You love to see it. Grey Knights. I hope that these Grey Knight players do well, because I want to see the Grey Knight community like actually sort of construct interesting lists. And I think that that's the way forward for them. Yeah, those lists are super sick. Oh man, how we feeling, chat? I'm excited. I'm excited for the coverage this weekend. Our hate how dread spam so often becomes a crutch. Yeah, for sure. So many people are just like, we just windmill slam it, but its shooting is mediocre. It doesn't use Mist of Deimos particularly well. Nothing like synergizes effectively with the faction. It just has a lot of maneuverability, but it's like highly inconsistent. It just feels bad. I don't know. I do a little happy dance every time I hit Grey Knights and I seize up and I go, oh shit, I'm gonna lose. And then I see that it's 6 Nemesis Dread Knights and I do a little happy dance. Yay! It's just a regular list. And you just do regular list stuff. I screen your deep strikes. I shoot you. You shoot me. I shoot back. And all my wounds convert because you're only tough to sate. And then they explode and then everyone's sad. It doesn't threaten a strong shooting army or mass transports. Yeah, I mean, that's just like, welcome to transports, dude. But like also, you know, I think that there's probably a happy medium where you like there's a couple Dread Knights in there that can kind of like anchor the list punching power, but the Mass Dread Knights also doesn't punch through armor that well. Like that's the thing. The Grandmasters are okay at it, right? The Nemesis Grandmasters can with the rerolls, but you only get one of those a turn, and the shooting, if you're a 2+ armor save, the shooting does fucking nothing. It is so underpowered compared to like strong defensive characteristics. You think you're gonna shoot through like a Land Raider with a Armor of Contempt? Nah. Nah, that thing's gonna eat that thing will eat 6 Dread Knights shooting at it and take like 4 damage. Yeah, it's just the faction. Yeah, I think that you can get work done out of like Terminators. Like I don't think that it's impossible for Terminators to get it done. We've actually watched on stream before. We watched Headstrong Table Chaos Knights. It looked like it was gonna be that game's over on TacticalTortoise TV, and it was one of my favorite games. Let's see if I can find it. Actually, it was one of my favorite games to watch because like at the beginning of the game, you look at it and you're just like, what is this? What are we gonna do here? You know, it seems like such an awkward matchup, and then they start doing their thing, and you're like, oh my god, actually, holy shit, everything's gonna die. It's, I think, like, the super duper high toughness stuff, the toughness 12, where things get super awkward. I think that was in Leviathan. It's probably my Leviathan playlist. Because then the non-lethal hits don't really go through that well. Oh, shoot. What have I done? Huh. But there's very few armies that mass that significantly. And if it's only a couple of things, then the librarians can hopefully soften them to the point that you can get lethal hits through and kill them. That is awkward though. Like I won't lie to you that and say that I don't think that toughness 12 is a problem. I do think that like transports become problematic, but that's also I just think an issue with transports. Transports are too strong in my opinion, and I've said that a million times. I'm not going to reiterate it. Now I can't find it. No, and it makes me sad. Oh, just fitting. I found it. Look at this game chat. By the way, subscribe to TacticalTortoise TV. I'm gonna start re-uploading my VODs. I did a couple last week. It's very time consuming. Dog spam at Chaos Knights list. But it's with just like endless amounts of content over here. Yeah. So basically, there's like nothing on the table. Hops in the Terminators. This is the Sigil unit. So it basically locks it in place because nothing can shoot it. And then if you attack it, then it hops. Or if you move to attack it, then it hops. And it was unlikely for the carnivores to be able to kill it on a charge, which I think they attempted and then didn't quite do. And then Drago popped in, I think over here. +3 charged, killed a War Dog. The carnivores, because they were on the other side of the ruin, had to move to attack it. It misted. And then ingressed immediately and got in on like 2 more War Dogs and killed them too. Yeah, in the back over here. And like, once you saw it in play, it was like a fucking, it was a curb stomp. I was like, oh my god. And then Drago just like swept the entire army, and that was the final result. It was like absolutely insane. It totally sold me on the Terminator centric Grey Knights over the Nemesis lists. I was flabbergasted. Oh shit, did I have my fucking camera on? No, chat. I had the stream up. I had the recording up the whole time. Fuck. I apologize. Oh no. All right, I'll do it again. I'll do a little showcase again. So, the Grandmaster Squad jumped in the middle, ate a bunch of attacks, didn't die because too many models. Librarians were like just trucking people the whole game, and then Drago over here popped in right here, got a 6-inch charge into this guy right there, blew him up. The Knights turned around to try to miss to try to shoot that guy. I think they engaged with the Piling Consolidate. They engaged a Brigand. So in order to shoot them, the Brigand had to fall back. That triggered mists, and then the unit deep struck onto the other side of the table, and then turns around and charges like two more Chaos Knights and killed them all too. And then the end of the game was like 40 to 100. It was insane. Yeah, yeah. I apologize, chat. I just forget which camera I'm on sometimes. So I was like, yeah, literally going through the whole thing. My bad. We fixed it though. Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. Again, troubles with Land Raiders, but if you can overcome that, it's good. But I do agree that like if you have like Astra Militarum with just like a trillion like chimeras or something, that is problematic. Largely because you're like 2 in 1, right? If the Terminators can come in and kill something and then be awkward to engage with on the crackback, that's great. But if they come in and they kill something and then the thing spits out another thing, it's hard. But I think many factions have that problem. I don't think that's unique to Grey Knights. Oh man. Yeah, rough sometimes, for sure. Well, chat, I'm psyched for the fucking World Championships, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this stream up here, though. There's some good discussion at the end. I'm going to go prep an army for my live stream over on Twitch. Please come hang out with me. It's going to be about 45 minutes. I will post the link in the chat. But if you want the show to continue, if you want the show to go on, please come hang out with me over on Twitch. I might play some Demons. I might play some Space Marines. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna be playing Longship Loft. Hey, there's the Twitch follows going in there. Appreciate that. But yeah, please come give me a follow over there and come hang out with me. We're gonna stream in 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time is the scheduled start time, so probably 40 minutes or so. And I'm going to go make a list for that. So post in the comment section what you want me to play. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I will probably do some content on some of these lists separately just to upload because it'll be cool. But until then, I'm excited for the World Championships. And I'm sure I'll be doing some content next week about the final results of this competition because it's super awesome. So stay tuned for that, everybody. Remember to keep it classy, folks. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.